Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. Today, we are privileged to play host to the Minister of Information, Republic of Liberia, Minister Jerolinmek Piah. He will be here today. He will be our guest to discuss national issues as to relate to our country and the government of President Joseph Boakai. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV once again. We want to encourage you to share the show so that we can get this conversation started. Again, my name is Sekou Kene. So it doesn't matter where you're joining us from. We want to encourage you to share the show so we can get this conversation started. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. I mean, having the minister here means a lot to us. Well, we're encouraging you to go ahead and share the show as we get connected to our folks back home. Speaking of radio format, 99.3 in Balmines, also Truth FM 96.1 in Pierceville, Montalvo County. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV. I want to encourage you to share the show.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What is our people who waiting to sell? Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of payment from them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again SKTV menu. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamu. And you say no money, the more I you. And you love me, the more I
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What is our people who waiting to sell? The flashing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Tempest and Nima to Lusa, from River Test, River G to Chide, from Penku, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacoloo, from Maryland, Punk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What is our people who waiting to sell? Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of payment from them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again SKTV menu. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamu. And you say no money, the muaye yo. Any lover muaye yo.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya tumale, and I salia ya tumale, and I connectly ya tumale, and I kodubwa ya tumale, and I dine ya tumale, and I salia ya tumale, and I connectly ya tumale, and I kodubwa ya tumale, and I forget na ya tumale. That's the baby, and I forget na. So she walk on my ya tumale. Yeah.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and I'm part of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The session that time and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in the whole wide world. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending where you are. Let me take this time to welcome some of our valuable fans here and supporters and well-wishers and followers. I want to start with George Yen. George Yuan, welcome to SKTV. And I want to say Yvonne Eo, welcome to SKTV. Bayoga Joe, welcome to SKTV. Yen Boy Yen, welcome. Regional Wilson, welcome to SKTV. Nika Free, welcome to SKTV. Elijah Vani CC, welcome to SKTV. Saros Neman, our own man there in Liberia, welcome to SKTV. Teresa Bone, welcome to SKTV. I think Brazilian Monk just joined us. Monk, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Welcome. So, are you ready for the minister?
Yeah, I hope he shows up.
He will. Yeah, he will show up. You guys, I know. A lot of people are kind of pessimistic about the ministers coming here.
Yes, because the narrative that they created, they want to go on platform that is kind of a soft, that want to throw a low curveball, and they think that SKTV is too hostile toward the Park administration. We want to call it for what it is. We have nothing personal.
Yeah, not really. Well, there was a change. Maybe you can work on that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you loud and clear.
My voice is repeating. Whatever you did yesterday, that button to stop it.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so let me see. Let me take some adjustment. Then we join you. Let me see. Are you getting me?
Still not working? All right, I'll meet you. Whenever you okay, just unmute yourself. Yes, so Monk, we want to encourage our people to share the show. James Yancy, welcome to SKTV. Mervyn the Shield from all the way Belgium, welcome to SKTV. Joseph Binder, welcome. Mustafa Balo, Martha Gay, and Mapu Dyson, welcome to SKTV. Patrick Sonny Wolo, welcome to SKTV. Joseph Greatness Hoffman, welcome to SKTV. My Figbear Flomo, welcome to SKTV. Lovely Pierre Perry. And Marie Pratt, welcome to SKTV. Dixon Yan, Welcome to SKTV, my brother Adam Crow. Welcome to SKTV, Tony Johnson, Tricom Mo, Samson W. Weir, our own man there in Liberia. Welcome to SKTV, Henry Slebo. Welcome to SKTV and our brother Abraham Kone. Want to encourage everybody to share the show. You know, I know hopefully all of you are here and ready to go. Many people are somehow skeptical of whether or not the minister will show up. In fact, the minister is already here. And I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us. I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the show. We are going to start this conversation right now. But as we always do with everybody, with all our guests, we want to do some housekeeping like we always do. When we invite people on here, we accord them all due respect or courtesy. We have to protect them in the manner that they will not be subjected to some form of disrespect or attack, or on our platform. And there's nothing wrong with saying that that's not true. There's nothing wrong with saying we don't believe that, but there are certain things that are not acceptable, towards our guests, whether it's Minister Piah or anybody else. We have, that borderline set for everybody. It is our responsibility to always protect our guests. Let's go to Liberia and see if Melbourne is ready now. Melbourne, are we good?
Yes, I don't know what I say, getting me. Maybe if you get me loud and clear, then we can move on. But
I can
if
hear
not,
you.
then I have to look
I
out
can
and
hear
come
you,
back.
but that same button you touched yesterday to take my voice from echoing, you have to do that. It's happening.
All right, so let me see. Sorry.
If
Okay.
not, you can just mute yourself so we can just continue the conversation because the minister is already
Yes, indeed. So okay. So let me see. Yes. Let me
I think
let me mute myself for now and
you
see
should
how
be good.
best I can do some
I think you're
adjustment.
good now.
I see them.
You're good now. My voice
All
is
right.
not repeating.
All right, so that's great. So a wonderful good evening, and indeed, today is Friday as usual. Let us not forget, even though we're having our guests, but I want also forget that today is Friday, and as usual, to all of our followers and our viewers, also chip in at least so that this show can be
It's okay.
supported. We want you to support the show. So as you come on, please don't forget to visit our basket, because my today going to be a very deep day. And Lawrence called me. He said that there's bad weather at his end, so maybe he will join us later on when when the weather get clear. But for now on, he may not join us because of the bad weather. So they are still doing some thing behind the scene according to Lawrence. So indeed, we are good. Thank God. I know the minister coming, so we can say, oh, I know there are a lot of questions that will be asked, there are a lot of things that will be asked. So we are good in Liberia.
Thank you. Monk, what's going on? What is your expectation for today's conversation?
Well, I'm having high expectation for this minister. He's someone who comes with experience. This is not his first rodeo when it comes to playing the defensive tackle for the government in Liberia. He served under Madam Sylvia administration, so I guess he's coming well prepared. Because on SKTV, we don't hold punches here. We have nothing against the administration. We're going to accord him all the courtesy that he needs, but we're just going to press it on the most challenging issues facing the Baka administration. That's all I got to say. So my expectation for the honorable minister is very, very high.
Yeah.
I'm not lowering expectation for him. I'm setting the bar way high.
Yeah, I mean, he's a diplomat. He knows exactly what's going on. Nothing less is expected of him when it comes to communication.
You President Monk, that the best station here, because I've been here back to back during those days. At that time, I was not working with Truth FM, but I really used to follow, and I follow all of his appearance or his appearances on Truth FM. So indeed, this place is like his home. So I know that indeed he will feel free at home. So
So Steve, welcome. The minister is here. I think he's trying to pull some things together over there. I can see him. I can see his. I can see him, in the backstage. So we just want to make sure that once the minister gets properly situated, we will begin the conversation. But I'm still not encouraged by our people sharing the show. I know many people, have joined us because of the expectation of the minister being here. But for sharing the show, you guys are not doing very good with that. And I want to encourage everybody to please come on and share the show. Once you come on, just press that share button. It's right there on your left-hand side. Share it, and share it, and share it. Share it on your personal profile. Share it in the group. Share it on pages that you follow.
Comment, like, and share. Comment,
Yes.
like, and share.
Yeah. Somebody say you answer all the tough questions. you guys should not, worry about that. SKTV will always do our job, and we are not here actually to also engage, got you movement.
More, you gotta show your face because today is Friday. Please do, because the people gotta visit the basket. Please do, show your face.
Mon, you were muted.
Yes, more have to show your face.
I got the offering basket here for.
Correct.
Today's Friday.
There we go.
All right, I will come back when it's time to collect the money.
So Steve gotta raise the song.
So
Steve, you gotta raise the song.
Yeah. So the minister is here now. So let's bring the minister on. By the way, let me tell you, the minister here is a busy man. He's not going to be here for the full 2 hours. He's probably going to be here for an hour. So let's use the 1 hour, efficiently and wisely so that we can get the much we can get out of the minister. This may not be his last time. This may be the first time on the SKTV, but this may not be the last time. And we appreciate him being here. Let's bring the minister on. Minister Piah, good afternoon. I know good evening there in Liberia. How are you doing, sir?
Sefu, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
And to the rest of the brothers, hope you guys are doing okay.
Yeah, we are doing wonderful.
Doing great.
And before you start, Sefu, let me say this so that we are prepared and we are not caught by surprise. So I'm doing a show from an office because I have been very busy here and I have to go to the mansion in the next 1 hour. But the challenge here is electricity has been a problem in our country. I mean, it's like a miracle today that I have electricity at this time. It's nearly 6:30 in the evening. So I cannot guarantee that they will not cut it off. And definitely if they do, then it's going to be a challenge because the building is nearly dark at this point. And I pray that in the next 1 hour they should keep the current on so that I can have the engagement with you. But that's part of what we've inherited. Many things are not working. And as soon as the current goes, nothing can be done because this ministry does not even have a generator, my brother. Not even 5 kVA. So you do not have an alternative source of power. When the current goes, then everything down in the ministry. That's the challenge we have. So I just wanted to say that so that if we have power outage while the show is on, so you understand that that's what the challenge is.
Do we have an idea as to how long it takes to come back, or it can just go forever?
Well, if they should carry down, we'll not see me until the next day. But of late, they've been keeping it sometimes up to 8:30, 9 o'clock. Okay. Sometimes we go deeper than that. So I'm praying and hoping that it can carry us for the next 1 hour so that we can have this very interesting engagement.
Thank you, Minister Piah. So Steve and Maybon and Monk, to all of you guys, the minister's here. So we're going to begin this very important conversation. Minister Piah, I want to begin by telling you thank you because many people were pessimistic about your appearance. Even some of my colleagues, Monk said, well, if the minister comes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm the doubting Thomas. Like, if he shows up, I'm going to believe it. But
So he said, well, no problem if the minister shows up. So I told them that the minister will come. And, we want to say thank you for.
So we have no reason to stay away from any media entity. As the Minister of Information, I should be engaged with all of the media individuals who got interest in our country. It does not matter whether they are critical of the government or whether they are a praise-seeking outlet of the government. We should be able to engage everyone because you are Liberians, you have stake in our country's affairs, and sometimes the stance that people take when they're so tough is not that they hate you, they maybe want you to do the right thing. And I've said that in all these conversations, we're going to be truthful, we're going to be fair, and I'm not bothered at all if somebody was to want to ask the hard question. The only thing I look for in this engagement is when I come as a public official, I expect to be respected, and that's all. But ask a question, ask a hard question. Sometimes we don't just have to go back and forth like with dialoguing. But ask any question you want to ask. I mean, if I can honestly provide an answer, I will. If I can, I'm going to admit that I can. And if there's an issue that you brought out that I know is a problem, I'm going to probably admit that it's a problem and say what we're doing about that. That's the kind of Minister of Information I opted to be, and that's what I will be.
Thank you, Mr. Piah. So let's just begin the conversation. So first of all, I want to say this to our people. If you just joining, this is SKTV. We have with us today Minister of Information, Republic of Liberia, Minister Jerolinmek Piah. He's here today. He's our guest. He's going to be here for at least an hour. So, Minister Piah, if you don't mind, I want you to take a few minutes, if you can, to introduce yourself to our people, our fans and followers. We have a lot of different followers from all walks of life and all other nationals and international people as well. So please take a minute to introduce yourself, sir.
Well, look, as it may already be known to a lot of people, my name is Jerolinmek Piah, as you have it on the screen. Many people call me Comrade Piah, Sunset Veteran Piah, and you see the Veteran Piah there. I am a Liberian citizen. I come from Grand Bassa County. I'm a family man, married with 5 kids. I'm a Catholic, a member of the Roman Catholic Church. I have served many portfolios in our country's affairs. I was one time just an ordinary employee at the Ministry of Gender, planning officer. Then I became the lead of a project that used to be known as the National Child Rights Observatory Group, NACROC. Anybody can Google it, you will see that. And then I became Assistant Minister for Planning Administration at the Ministry of Gender. And then subsequently Deputy Minister for Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information. And at one point, Press Secretary to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and now Minister of Information. Academically, I hold a number of credentials. I have my first degree in the applied science of agronomy. And then I have a master's degree in international relations from the University of Liberia. And I hold an MPA in public administration from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government there in America, where you are. So academically, that's what I am. I'm a politician, I'm an activist, I'm a revolutionary, and I'm all the attributes you can think about. And that is the reason why my approaches to issues are different. So that's who I am, Chief.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Minister. For some reason, I'm hearing, let me see here. So, okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for that wonderful, presentation of your background. And I'm impressed. I'm already impressed about you. I know who you are. I've been following you and I know exactly who you are, but for the benefit of our people. So, just so you know, we are live on SKTV on all the media. Minister Piah, I will meet you then when you are talking. Then I will meet you so that way we can.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
So yes, So we are on all the major social media platforms. We are also on Radio Former, FM 99.3 in Bon Mines, Bon County. We are also always on Truth FM 96.1. So I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. So Minister Piah, you just talk about some of the challenges that you face with as the incoming government, talking about the ministry where you serve right now doesn't even have a backup electricity. And likewise, many other areas in the country. Can you just elaborate a little bit some of the challenges you are facing as a government? Also, some of the good things that you actually inherited.
Charity begins at home. So let me start with the Ministry of Information. And as I talk about the Ministry of Information, I want to be clear. When we make these cases, we're not making it against the individuals we took over from. I have been around government for a while, and I'm aware that there has been a lack of interest by previous government, not just the CDC government, in supporting communication. Communication is an afterthought. It has always been an afterthought. It has never been supported. So the Ministry of Information has been at the center of neglect. Unfortunately, in the last 6 years, that state of neglect grew to a deeper level than it's been in the past. I don't know what the reasons were, but Mr. Rennie, who ran the ministry, was not supported. I'm sitting here wondering how he was making it. I enter bathrooms here. They are abandoned and in a state of decadence. I enter offices without desks, no computer, no laptop, nothing. I come here, I feel sad when I see the guys who are the janitors. They move all the way down to Buse Quarter to bring water for the bathroom because no water system is here. And you see them holding these containers in their hands, and like slave, like the era of slavery. It's painful to watch, but that's what we see. The entire building itself, the roof is rotting. When the radio CC comes, it's going to leak terribly. The physical outlook of the building, anybody who's in Monrovia and is passing by, they will tell you the building is nasty. At the confirmation, I described this place as a graveyard, and that's the reality. Even after taking over, I'm talking to you now from the conference room because the office is being refurbished, not by government, because there has been no budget passed. There's no government expenditure. I got confirmed, and I've been seated in this position for over a month now. I have not spent a dime of government's revenue because it's not there. There's no budget. The ministry has a single vehicle, and that's the vehicle that the minister drives. So it means that all of the other officials here, they do not and will not have vehicles because I'm not sure we're in the position as a government now to begin to buy cars and all of that. Some of them are making intervention in their own offices. They're buying their own bags. They're buying chairs. They're doing just anything they can to keep the country, the offices comfortable. The ministry has a bloated payroll. Of course, it's a very small ministry, so it's shocking to know that the ministry is reported to have like 413 employees. The draft budget that is being discussed, the ministry has a projection of 2.8 million. Of the 2.8 million, 2.1 million goes on personnel costs alone, meaning you have remainder of 700,000 to run an entire ministry for 12 months. Impossible, not practical, not attainable, but that's what the reality is. So, broken system, and that goes across the country. Colleagues in different ministries and agencies are saying to us, that's the same situation. You know that the MTA, for example, they have 45 buses at the time of the transition in 2017. The guys taking over met 2 buses, but not functional. So you can imagine what it was. MTA is supposed to be a business, in a way, serving the people through a transport system. If you innovated, you met 45 buses, you could make it to 100. I mean, depending on who you are and what kind of connection and what kind of mindset you have. That's not the situation. The offices were, whether it was intentional or not, there were several fire incidents there. I'm told the place was burned down. So ministry after ministry is a problem, no vehicle, nothing. We've been executing a 100-day deliverable with our budget. As we are achieving, it has to be a miracle. When I came here, the ministry is traditionally known for having press conferences once a week, every Thursday. If you're following, and I know you're following, we've been doing it 3 times a week and compelling and pushing our colleagues to use this as the national platform to communicate the government's program, policy and progress to the Liberian people. That's working. Somebody is wondering how you're doing it. No money, no budget, and you're having press conferences 3 times a week. Well, we have an obligation to do what we are doing. When I took the hard decision to depart the United States, where I was, to come here, I did so knowing what I was coming into. And I cannot, in this early stage, begin to use all the challenges we have, to start crying wolf and I'm wanting to do my job. I said something before which I will say it. When I was introducing myself, I told you how I'm a product of the Howard Kennedy School. What took me to the Howard Kennedy School was not money from my pocket. It was taxpayers' money. In other countries, when you educate your people, you bring them back to serve the country. The past government did not have interest in the most educated or the reasonably educated of the population. But President Walker saw the need to say, he remembers that they sent me to school. And so they asked me to come and help. I could not say no because I believe the country is broken. They sent me to school, they educated me, the education should be used to benefit the population. So I came. And whatever has been inherited here, I'm prepared to face it head on. And I hope that in the end will justify the means.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So, given what we just heard, as it relates to the challenges you are faced with as a government, does that mean that we shouldn't expect the government to meet for 100-day program or 100-day plan because of the challenges, including budget not being approved and some of the challenges that you inherited? So based on those factors, you're telling us that the government may not meet her 100-day plan as was pronounced by the president?
No, I'm not saying that. I will never say that. In fact, on Wednesday, there was a cabinet meeting. The key reason for that cabinet meeting was to receive updates on where we are with regards to the 100-day deliverables, on where we are, what have we achieved, what are the outstanding challenges. And the overall picture looks good. We're going to reach target. The governance mantra that brings into the picture this whole concept of 100-day deliverable is not, because of the time frame, is normally not meant for big term projects, right? You're looking at short-term things because 100 days just over 3 months. But they are basic practical things that will show anybody that this is a government that is ready to lead. These are a group of people that are ready to lead. So most of these things that were identified to be done, they don't have real huge cost implications. Yes, it's true that money is needed, but sometimes you got to find a way around it. I'll give you an example. When I do press conferences here, part of what I wanted to do was to revive how active the ministry is in communicating with the people, right? So when I have press conferences, media institutions come here, all of them, they carry live. I should pay, right? Can I stop doing that because there's no budget? No, I'm doing so. I have to be reaching out to different media entities, both local and international, like I'm doing with your show, right? Sometimes you can see the thing is costed. Piah, you come in here, you can't come into your government building, you got to pay, right? But we're finding ways around it. You engage me here without asking me to pay or down. Many other local media institutions that will say, well, Minister, when you appear on our show, it's $300 for hour or it's $250 for hour. They're taking us without necessarily asking for money. I think the thing is that they see themselves as a part of the process and they see it as their contribution, right? So, and like I was saying, one of the things I wanted to ensure that this office is revamped. No budget, but the ministry deals with sectors. Today, I was meeting with the folks from the cultural and tourism sector, private sector people. And they were telling the minister, we have to surprise you. We can't, we are part of this ministry. We can't come and be happy to see the ministry as nasty as it is. We contemplating on what to do to rescue. So if I wanted to give the ministry a facelift, I'm going to achieve that without spending a dime of government money. It just left with relationship. It just left with how you network, and many things can happen. So across the board, things are happening. And no, I can't say that we're not reach target. I think if anything, I could say we overperform as far as what our target was.
All right, let's go to Steve. I have a lot of questions, so I could just could you just take the whole 1 hour that you're here, but we don't want to do that. We got to be interactive and bring our colleagues in to ask some questions. Steve.
Yes, I know in the cycle Mongo before me, so
no, it's okay. It's okay. Mo will ask a question. If you're not ready, then let me know. Then I can.
No, I am ready. I just don't want us to skip him. But, anyways, welcome to the conversation. Welcome to SKTV, Minister Piah. You know, I heard you say you're going to overperform, and the question, the context was in your 90-day deliverable.
100 days.
Your 100 days deliverable. I mean, thank you, Mr. Kane. And you're saying that you're going to overperform. Overperform on what? About what? The 90-day deliverable, the 100-day deliverables, or overperform? What is it that you're overperforming on as a government?
So when you have a 100-day deliverable, it means that each sector, each ministry, each agency say, in the first 100 days of the administration, we achieve this, we achieve that. Sure. So I spoke in the context of the 100-day deliverable, not a whole government approach for the rest of the tenure. As governance continues, we know exactly how we fare along the way. But what we've set out to do, what we've targeted, that we say we can achieve in 90 days, I'm saying, based on Seku's question, that since we talk about the financial challenges and other things, whether we're not reach target, I'm simply saying to him, no, we're going to reach target, and possibly we're going to overperform. That's strictly in connection with a 100-day deliverable.
Okay. So then, since you like the fact that you kept it in context, then let's ask you some direct questions about the 100-day that you are going to overperform. For example, let's start off with, and I'm sure you're quite aware of this, the Public Works Ministry. One of the things that you guys said that you would do between the month of February and May. Mind you, May is a few weeks from now, maybe 3 weeks, I would say at most. You said you were going to the Tota Zweju corridor, which is about 200 MX, 100 M, basically 75 kilometers. The Salaye Vonjama corridor, the Vonjama Foya Monikoma corridor, the Bikana Cestos corridor, the Cestor Junction Greenville corridor, the Greenville Barclayville corridor, the Barclayville Plebo corridor. Have you guys done anything about those since you're going to overachieve or exceed? What is the progress as of today? Oh, we're not hearing you, Mr. Minister. We're not hearing Minister Piah.
That's me. Sorry.
If you're not hearing me, then it's not me. Then maybe it's the system.
Yeah, that was me. So
I was asking why. So I was asking why exactly is the question? What is it that was said will be done there that you're specifically asking about?
You said
all the corridors you just named.
You said you overachieved. So I'm saying in the context.
No, I'm not talking about overachievement. What exactly is supposed to be done on those corridors you just spoke about? I'm
asking you, what is the progress so far based on your 100 days deliverable that you projected to the board and to the laboratory?
So the reason why I asked the question, I don't know why you don't want to answer it, because I overheard you talking about pavement, and that's why I asked the question, because nobody in their reasonable mind would say they can pave any road in 90 days. Take, for example, the RIA highway. It's been up for 6 years. 6 years, and nothing has happened there. So with road intervention, what the Minister of Public Works have been focused on, in line with the President's commitment that in his first 100 days, we will not have any car being stuck in the mud. The strategic interventions that will be made in strategic corridors that will be meant to make sure that as the president proclaimed, vehicles can plow those routes and go to the places they're supposed to go to convey our people before being stuck in the mud. Now, if you wanted to say how far we've gone, obviously you anticipate that it has to be progressive, because when do you even have car being stuck in the mud? It has to be maybe in the depth of the rains, not during dry season. Dry season, the roads can easily be maintained. So if it is from that perspective you're speaking, then we on course. But I'm not sure there's anywhere that it was written that in 3 months you pave all those corridors that you need, because it will not be realistic.
Are you familiar with the 90 days deliverable? Are you familiar with them?
To understand, but I'm not sure anybody saying 90 days that they will pay a road in 3 months. I'm not sure.
You're not answering the question. Are you familiar with
I said you want me to answer the way you want me to answer. To some extent, it's an answer. You didn't hear that?
Okay, to some extent.
All right. You heard that?
Since you want to keep it to extent, I can be more specific, because you told the Liberian people that the 100 days you guys will exceed, or you will do, paraphrasing you, that you will over exceed or overachieve your goals. And I'm asking for progress where you are now, based on the time frame that you allocated here into your own program. You knew that in the dry season, car will not be stuck on the road, but when you created a document that contradicts what you were saying. So that's why I'm asking you, where are you with this progress, or these progresses? Where are you today?
All right, so I'll come back to you. We will exceed what we targeted to do. We are progressing with all that we said we do. One of the things that we have focused on doing, and we're working on it now with the PDU, is we're tracking the progress. And the Ministry of Information will launch at the end of the 100 day what we call the Mika magazine. It's the first in the history of the ministry. That million edition of that magazine will capture all that was attained and achieved for the 100-day deliverable. It will be widely circulated. It will be given to churches, to mosques, to foreign missions, everywhere. And there you will see clearly everything that was attained within that 100 days. So we have not gotten there. I told you we overperform. Just wait and see. At the end of the day, when we give account of our stewardship after the 90 days, then you can make your judgment as to whether we fell short, we overperform, or whatever it is, you can make your conclusion.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I hope I answered your question.
No, you are. I think the feedback is very bad. I think if you were asking me, I hope you answered the question. It's not up to me. The Liberian people are listening to you. So whatever answer you give, the Liberian people will judge you and the government based on your answers. But let's move on.
I'm glad that you note that that's why it is. Thank you.
Let's make progress, please. So I know that you talk about you met the agency this way and that way and this way. My question to you is, you worked in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government 12 years before the George Weah-led government. My question to you is, what did you leave there that you expected to see there after 6 years that you didn't see?
When I walk out of my office as press secretary, and to correct you, there's always a general assumption that everybody who is affiliated with Ellen worked with over 12 years. I think it's a wrong way to make assumption. There are people who work in the past government, somewhere for 3 years, somewhere for 4 years, somewhere for 5 years. So without inquiring to generally draw a conclusion that because that government had 12 years, everybody who worked there for 12 years is not the way to go. That's one. Two, the office I occupied before the Ellen government left power was the office of the press secretary. When I left that office, the person who took over from me had a brand new car. Brand new car. All the deputy ministers taking over for me, assistant minister taking over here at the Ministry of Information, they don't have wheelbarrow before you can talk about car. When I left that office, computers, television, printer, everything was in there. When I left that office, the major source of information in Liberia was the Executive Mansion website. I operated it. I didn't leave it broken down. When I came at the Ministry of Information, no website. The government spokes agency, no website. I just restored the website 1 week ago. If you follow in the Mika press briefing, we announced that we have just restored the website. Simple thing, the website. When I left those offices, the press, the Executive Mansion press, they had a brand new Jeep that was conveying everywhere the president is traveling. When I left the executive management office, I left a functional office of the press secretary to the president, which was the position that I occupied. Very active, very functional, and productive. That's what I left.
Thank you, Mr. Piah. And maybe you decided to. I just want to clarify before I ask my next question. Maybe you decided to.
Steve, I want us to go to Monk after that because we do not have enough time here.
Yeah, because after 1 hour, if you don't have the question in a minute, when I will go because 1 hour I'll be the match.
I want Monk to answer. That's why I just had 2 questions. So I want you to.
But I want to clarify something quick before Monk comes.
Go ahead.
So, first of all, you decided to phrase my assertion based on how you wanted to phrase it. I said the Ellen-led government ran for 12 years. I did not say you worked for Ellen for 12 years. I said you worked within the Ellen-led government, which ran for 12 years, and that is a fact on the record. Whether you served there for 6 months, 2 months, that's on you. But we can move the conversation forward. Monk, it's up to you.
Chief, that's immaterial for all argument. I want to talk substantive. I mean, I just said something in passing here. It didn't need clarification. Let's move on.
It does need clarification.
It's okay. So it's okay. Monk, do you have a question? I hope Monk is available. Monk, are you there? All right. While we await Monk, Minister Piah, I want to just piggyback on something that you and Steve went back and forth with regards to the card not hitting, not stuck in the mud. I think the question was, how far are you? You guys said that you guys were going to.
Hello?
Yeah, Monk, are you there now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, but you are not available. Do you have a question for the minister?
Yeah, I have a question, a very simple question. We saw the 100-day deliverables, and you will listen to the minister espouse on the whole range of issues when it comes to challenges you got. He complained about no laptop, that the office is nasty. I mean, that's a harsh word to use when you say nasty, that you have to go into another office to even conduct meetings and press conferences. And you talk about the 100-day deliverables as in short term, medium term, and long term. The fact of the matter is you won't be able to hit any of those benchmarks. And you are saying it here that you have electricity issue that you cannot even guarantee your interview on SKTV platform. So what are the possibility that you could hit some of the deliverables within 100 days? Because you're almost like 70 days into 100 and you're still using bucket to flush toilet in your ministry. So think about these bigger challenges, and you are not the only person complaining about funding. The last time the DEA boss was here as well. He was appealing to Liberians worldwide to make contributions. And don't forget, this government requested upward of 41 million in 2 disbursements just to make sure that the government stay operational. So it's not about funding, it's all about priority. My question to you is, if you got all the fundamental challenges that you are faced with, how can you make the case that you'll be able to meet any of those benchmarks, whether it's short term, medium term, or long term? How?
Thank you, Mom. So the 41 million you're talking about, the government's wage bill, the money that we use to pay salary every month, is around 23 million US, just salary. So when you saw a request being made in the term of that 41 million was because we wanted to make sure that people who are working are paid. It was not basically money that will make all the strategic interventions you're talking about. But again, I said, you're talking about flushing water in the bucket. Yeah, it's a genuine case. You're right. That's what the realities are. But stopping water from being flowing in the bucket was that one of the things that they said that will solve in one of the other Ministry of Information. Ministry of Information is, for example, focused on communication, is focused on the tourism sector. So there were just some simple strategic things that we said we're going to do. And like I said, look, I just want to do something. I hope it works, and I hope it will not go on, right? Just watch. I'm getting all right. I'm in the office here. I hope I don't go on. I beg you. So this is the office, and you will know.
We can see no office.
Minister Piah, hold on.
Listen, I just want to show you something.
Yeah. I just want to say something to you. Because Steve, hold on 1 second. Because you're using the green screen. The background. We're not seeing.
You're not seeing. Yeah. You're right.
So you
can remove that background, right?
You remove that background so we can be able to see exactly what you're trying to say.
I understand what you're saying. I'm coming right to it. Sorry. You're doing anything every day, so you're the technology guru. Me, I get to do something else.
Yeah. So you remove the background.
So then it's going to be factored in that is situation will be factored in.
You say what?
Steve, I don't want this to be.
I see a good example. You have factor in it.
Steve, I don't want this conversation to be confrontational.
You guys need Steve here. You tell what the office. They see why you told they see how you told us that in dry season the place will be dry, no more hanging in the road. But you made 100-day deliverable talking about no cow be stuck in the road, knowing that they were deceptive then. But then
so apparently, Segu, your show is such that no control. Anybody can just jump on and talk. Even if somebody else asking question.
So Steve, I think listen. When it's a time to speak again, you can ask another question. Why I don't want this to be.
I come in. Let me get this clear. I don't know Steve to be a second guest. I didn't know you called me to have two sides debating. I thought you called me with a set of panelists who will be respectful and have a conversation with me. But if you have somebody who wants to be what he is, even if it's somebody else's time to speak, he's coming across the bowl and telling me I'm being dishonest, then you just want to portray your network as what some people perceive it to be. I'm not sure I'm here for that, right? You have 5 persons on your stream, you are allotting time to them to ask questions. When you ask a question, you understand my argument. Why are you being personal? Why are you being...
I made a point.
No, but you gotta show that you're motivated, so you can just make points across.
Steve, we can't
things in the civil war.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Minister Piah, let's make progress.
I will go to any show to have conversation about our country, but I will demand respect. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to be confrontational. This is just a conversation we are having here. So, Minister Piah, go ahead and see what you were saying. Please, Steve.
If people want to be conversational, they want to be confrontational, election will kind in the next 6 years. Then we can start the confrontational process. We're doing government, we're having conversation just about our country. So that way for campaign time, then we can put all the agitation, everything, and do what we want to do. But let's just simple, Chief. Let's show respect to each other. I respect you, just respect me. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. I don't have to even show the office anymore. Let's just have the conversation because we've gone 52 minutes. And I'm not sure whether I have more time. So let's just have a conversation.
All right. So, Minister Piah, among the challenges that we have seen so far, what are you telling us as minister is what many people term as inaptitude when it came to the government making appointments and the deleting names and addition of names and other stuff. So my question to you, I'm not sure whether I'm going to finish this question, but because we're running out of time, I think we are going to have to, you're going to have to, come back again so we can have a more substantive conversation with more time. Because we cannot do a lot.
Sibu, I will come as many times. You and I have been talking, right?
Yeah.
I will come as many times as you want me to come.
Sure.
My only precondition is when you call me, I'm the guest, I'm the guest.
Of course.
A panelist is a panelist. When you bring another panelist to be the other opposite side of the guest, then let me know from the beginning that I know I'm coming to argue with somebody. Other than that, I will always be here.
No problem.
Right?
So yeah.
Somebody could make a policy to say, oh, Segu, then they don't go there. I've said even Gossen Wion. I'll call, I say Gossen Wion, Horror and Kobe. I won't come on freedom. So we can have conversation. I will not walk away from any media entity on account of what people perceive about it. But don't prove them wrong. I mean, don't prove them right. Prove them wrong. Just be quiet and intelligent about the conversation you have.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's make progress. Let's make progress.
Yes, sir.
So my question to you now, what is the problem that are leading to that driving this whole appointment and then withdrawal and then this and that? That's kind of like present the government as people not knowing what they are doing. I personally have said, apparently President Walker is now in control, and those who are making the appointments may not know what they are doing, because this is very awkward that every now and then people being appointed, they're not even sure of their appointment. Before you look, their name is deleted or scrap, taken off, and then somebody is coming. What is the problem?
So,
is it because the other guy is not the one making the appointment, or is making the appointment or changing it? What is happening?
So the first thing that I will start with, when you say those who are making the appointment, only one person makes the appointment, and that's the president. That's the man who constitutionally is empowered to appoint and to dismiss. So here is a simple thing. The law says the president appoints, the president can dismiss. And that dismissal does not necessarily mean that you must start the work, you get confirmation, you start the work before they dismiss you. I can be nominated, and along the way, something comes out that does not convince the president that nomination was properly vetted. He's not going to be afraid of what the public will think to say, okay, even though I see something wrong here, but because the public will criticize it, let the wrong thing remain and let it go on. So for as long as certain things are discovered, as long as we believe that certain things was not done properly, it will not be a matter of being afraid or being ashamed to correct it. It's better to correct it than to say, no, when you correct it, the people will criticize you, so then you be that. It's like in our own homes, right? You have an issue, something did not go right. When I change a thing, you remember that if it happening already. That concept is not going to be used in the appointment process. No.
Just a second. You continue. Just a second. There's something.
But
I want you to incorporate this in your answer. There's something called due diligence. There's something called vetting process. So, how many people being appointed and or removed or withdrawn, and did the president actually do his due diligence before appointing those people and then coming back to withdraw them or replace them and delete and add and subtract all every now and then? Do you guys actually go through the actual due process or the vetting process before appointing those people? Then there where you discover things. Why you want to wait first, announce to the public, and then later on you found something that you're supposed to do earlier on? So do you actually go through the vetting process before making those appointments?
We do, and the withdrawal does not necessarily mean that something was wrong. No, that's not what we are suggesting. Let me give you an instance.
You just said when the president saw something that is not, correct. That's why.
So that something could be. Don't forget that we are in a political coalition. That something could be that a decision has been taken for somebody to be named to a position, and that person is supposed to come from Nyambi Kanga's Liberty Party. Mm-hmm. And something happened, and the person who is named there is from, say, ACO. It doesn't mean that that person has something negative for which they're being withdrawn. You want to keep your collaboration, you want to keep your coalition, you want to keep your alliance stable. So if something happened and somebody's name was swapped for something that's going to come to Single Corner Party, but actually it's going to come to Steve's party, there's nothing wrong with correcting them to say, oh, you're not happy already, man. I call him Sebu. Forget that thing. That's Steve, then just go ahead. You'll be enabling a reoccurrence of that way. Well, so these withdrawals are not necessarily an indication that you didn't vet properly, the man is a criminal, the woman is a criminal, or this one happens. But don't forget, that's the point I wanted to make when you called me up. When Ellen Johnson said that our work for came to power in the first place in 2005, about 75% of the cabinet officials she named were professional people who had nothing to do with party politics. She stood firm. That's how she brought the Crystal. She brought the Olubengi Kim Akiwele. She brought the Miata Beslo. She brought the Antoinette Sayer. And you name it. They were not party people. This arrangement we have to understand is a little bit different. We had a regime that people were determined to remove. It required then a political coalition capable enough of ensuring that removal. That coalition can be likened to you cooking jollof rice. Those are all who eat jollof rice. You get all kind of different ingredients inside. It is that kind of arrangement we have here. An arrangement that have all kind of things. Is UP, is MRD, is ACO, is Cassette, not Cassette, the Appleton's group, and all the different groups. A leader taking care of such a collaboration got to be careful in ensuring that you manage everybody so that the coalition does not break apart from the very beginning. One of the reasons why the CDC coalition have brought into power, the now whole of the 2023 was because of that. So in that kind of political environment, you see some of the things that are happening. But the good news is, whenever these things are noticed, whenever they are observed, the president will not hesitate to make the changes, because there and then it will be better to change than to say they just move ahead. That's why it is, brother.
Can I come and
More you want to ask a question, and I want to go to Melbourne and Lawrence Teddy can have one question before the minister leaves. So go ahead, Monk.
Yeah, I listen to the minister trying to make the case. The minister is saying one or two things. Because as far as I'm concerned, you will always need a coalition to win an election like Bureau. With George, we are also came with a coalition. But this first step, this kind of for overstaffing, sometimes sending two names to the same ministry, is something that is unprecedented. And this man is saying that Madam Sally brought professional, educated people. So technically, he's saying that Boga people are not professional in another sense, because you cannot make the case for coalition. The last time I checked, Georgia also came for coalition. Just yesterday, the same thing happened again with Murphy County, that lawmakers or the Senate had to put a hold on his confirmation because they said they are waiting a redress from the Supreme Court. And at a certain point in time, even Joseph Boga himself confronted. It was confirmed in the front page Africa story that lawmakers were canceling names that were being sent. So you want to tell the Liberian people in a fair and square manner here, is this because of incompetence or either Joseph Boga is not in control? Because when you say that Madam Sally brought educated and professional people, it almost like saying that Boga doesn't have professionals, because you cannot.
Probably you didn't get me.
So which one?
Probably you didn't get me right.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but you don't have to argue now. Let me answer. I said probably you didn't get me right. That's how I'm going to answer you.
I'm just
here's what I said. I'm still on the show. Here's what I said. I said President Sally did not consider political consideration. So she grabbed people from different places, the crystal, very competent people. That was not to suggest that I'm in a Boga government. I come from Harvard. You want to tell me I'm not competent? So that's not what I'm saying. So the point I was trying to make is that she was not worried about political accommodation. Even the party that brought her to power, all the people she knew were not partisan. The party couldn't do anything about that. She believed she was inheriting a broken country that she needed to make it work. In this case, what I was making, that's the point you're missing, is that a political coalition brought us to power. And political rewards are here on earth, not in heaven. So people are concerned. Everybody got their own interest in the corridor of power. And so as a result of that, there could be things happening with, maybe somebody belong to party B and somebody sneak party X there. But the president is the authority. That's the point you got to realize. He's the authority who makes the appointment. And who's making the withdrawal you're talking about is the president. Because he has the authority. When someone does something that is not right, he corrects it. And you withdraw. Then somebody says, oh, why are you withdrawing? You want him to leave it there when the authority is his and he believes something that has happened? So it's okay. You said an example of Murphy Conner. Murphy Conner was not appointed to be proper at Social Security.
Deputy Director.
Security had not been well, right? He on a sick mission. So Murphy at the time was being asked to be officer in charge. And you say the court is having a hearing on having officer in charge somewhere.
No,
officer in charge was not required, except where he's named properly, then that's a different ballgame. But he wasn't named to be the head of Social Security. When he got the communication was to serve as officer in charge, because the man who runs the entity has been out of the country for months. And we know why he's out of the country. He has a medical challenge. The institution has to run. As it was, only the deputy in Madam Yeke, Percy Yeke's wife, was running the countries, according to her, in collaboration with the DG, who was seeking medical attention abroad. In the wisdom of the authorities, they needed somebody to be officer in charge. Of course, you all saw the rest of what happened. Eventually, that deputy lost her job because she rendered gross insubordination to the president.
Sekou, that's a confirmation of what we've been saying on SKTV. What you heard the brother just said was, Madam Sally was more interested in her success as compared to Joseph Burger, who is interested in plain political payback. That's exactly what
you say. I didn't say
no,
that.
that's what you just said. Because you said negotiation.
I'm saying on the show. I'm saying, yeah, why you want to speak for me? That's what you say, not me.
I'm just reiterating what you said, and that's what you
no,
said.
You're not reiterating what I said. You say what you want to say. And as long as I'm on the show, you will not misquote me for me to keep quiet. I'm on the show, you will not misquote me. Absolutely, you will not do that.
All right. Let's do this.
When I leave the show and you remain, you can misquote and say anything you want to say. I will not be here. But while I'm here, that's not going to happen.
All right. Let's see if our guys can elaborate. They can ask at least one question. Maybe Steve will. I got one more, and Steve will get one more. So yeah,
thank you.
Let's go to Melbourne. Melbourne, it's up to you.
Yeah, so let me say thank to the veteran, and I want to thank so much for coming on the platform. Indeed, that's one of the best things to do. So quickly, let me go to my question. This government heard about President Jota Yuma Bwaka, Mayu doing a campaign. There are a lot of things that were said, but the name of the government is Rescue. Rescue Me, coming to rescue people. So when the president assumed office, he said that there'll be no green Liberian, no blue Liberian, and no red Liberian. But we are seeing a lot of dismissals. People have been dismissed on so many for so many institutions. With the latest news coming from the EPS about one Sonny Johnson, who has been dismissed, and also from the CSA about the 40,000 employees of CSA workers that have not been regularized according to the information that we are getting. So where do the government stand on this? Because mind you, if you take bread and butter from even one Liberian mouth, that means you are telling them to go and not to do anything. So where do the government stand on this, honorable trend? Because there are a lot of dismissals ongoing.
So dismissal is a normal practice, especially if somebody is in breach of certain norms governing. It's not just about government. Even in America, where people lost job all the time. When you do something that calls for dismissal, you will be dismissed. And you're talking about green Liberia versus blue Liberia, and the first example you get is an EPS officer. Are you suggesting that the EPS officer was a sedition?
According to the information.
But no security men should be sedition. They should be people who serve in their country beyond party lines. So if somebody was fired from the EPS, you got to be more interested in why they were fired rather than trying to say they were sedition, because the security people should not be party people. That's one. Two, the reference to 40,000 people being, the question about 40,000 people being dismissed, nothing like that was said. I mean, we got to understand clearly when people communicate. So what the CSA boss said, the civil service that has been inherited has 67,000 people on the payroll. Of the 67,000 the civil service payroll, the only group of people who were compliant, and to be compliant means the CSA has its own process that it laid, or they got to process what they call your personnel action notice. It's called PAN. When they process that thing, you have a file, your credential, the job requirement, everything. Only 27,000 of those people did what the CSA required for people to be employed. 40,000 did not. Now, they did not say they're firing 40,000. They say you have 90 days to comply with the established procedure. Or HR, including my HR, they're going to be dealing with the people from the 40,000 that come from different entities, make sure their payments are processed. Everything they're supposed to do that was required by the CSA that was bypassed will be processed. Now, after that processing, here is the other survey of Sekou, Steve, and the rest of the guys. The job description in the civil service are laid out. And each of those responsibilities have required academic qualifications. There are positions to occupy, you got to be a bachelor degree holder. There are positions to occupy, you got to be a master degree holder. There are some you got to be a high school graduate. There are some you got to have some certificate. All of that 40,000 people are in positions that they are not qualified for. There are people who don't have bachelor degree are occupying positions that require bachelor degree. So when they do this processing of their pen and everything, if you are in a position that calls for bachelor degree, but you don't have bachelor degree, obviously you will not remain in that position because the law was breached. You were placed in a position that has a set requirement. You did not meet the requirement, but because the civil service process was not followed, you did. In my ministry, let me give you an example. There's a master degree holder, he got MBA. His salary is $247. There's another person, a young high school graduate. They make $500. And the plenty on the payroll, or that 400 and something person I'm talking about. All these things happen because the entire civil service process was bypassed. Most of these things were being processed from the Ministry of Finance. Hence the problem that we had, which the civil service boss and his team are trying to resolve. They not wish on to anybody. They all 40,000 persons, when they go through the process and their process, they may be repositioned according to their qualification, but nobody will lose their job. So it's not to put people out of job, but it's to do right what was not done right.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Lawrence. Lawrence, do you have a question for the minister?
Yeah. Honorable Minister, good evening. Thanks for joining the show today. I'd like to say welcome.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, the issue of King George, some of our brothers lost their life a few time ago. So what do we stand to hear from the government when it comes to our brothers who lost their life in King George in Grand Kidman County? What is the stand of the Liberian government towards that situation?
So the head of the Liberian National Police, along with the Justice Minister, spoke to that situation. We, first of all, nobody should be dying in any situation in this country. So there was an admittance that it was a regrettable situation that some of our citizens had to die while advocating for what they believe were their rights. King George has been a problem. The mountain is a concession that is problematic, but even as problematic as it was, on the eve of the elections, these folks were given additional 25 years in an extension to their contract, to their concession agreement. And the problems that are there are so many. And to be frank with you, many of the issues that they are complaining about are very legitimate concerns. Our only point of departure or disagreement with them was what medium are you using to seek redress to what appears to be genuine concern and problem? Should it be riot? Should it be protests that led to some of the things we saw? That's why it is. But the government is resolving those issues. They've been having meetings over and over. They've met with leaders of the workers, leaders of the community. And simple, I'll give you an example. One of the things they said, the town is a gold mine, right? And you're relocating the people from the spot where they have their homes. But at the bottom of that spot, a gold, right? And you want to build homes for them. They took our team on the tour of those homes, not representative of where people should live. The mines, the mines are on the ground. Members of our team were brave, they went on the ground. The people are saying they go on the ground with no protective gear. The same work they go on the ground to do, when the other side that are basically people who are non-Liberian do so, they get $3,000. When the guy was a Liberian going the same place, does the same work, you get $300. So there are issues, right? And what we are doing as a government is we committed to ensuring that those issues are addressed. And they must be addressed because the people in King George are Liberians. And with regards to those who lost their life, the police director is on record for saying that the matter was being investigated to determine whether there was unlawful use of firearm or maybe force that was not required. And at the end of the investigation, if somebody has to be held liable for the death of the individuals, we'll be told by the investigators. But that's where we are.
Thank you so much. I have one more question, but I want you to go first. Then I can ask the last question before we let the minister. Let me tell you something. The entire country.
You're very smart. Now I have 1 hour. You're not keeping here for 1 hour, 30 minutes. You're still lecturing. So you're doing it quietly with all me knowing that what you've done.
No. This is one of the most important interviews because why? I can tell you right now, the entire country is watching and listening. while we were just talking, while you were talking, giving answer to Lawrence's question, one of the lawmaker called, they wanted to give some information about that particular subject, but we do not have enough time here. Maybe post-interview conversation, we'll have other people in to come and chip in with some information and maybe counter argument on some other stuff. But we do not have.
You mean a King George situation? You mean a King George situation?
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's normal. It's understandable. The lawmakers have been very engaged with the process. You know, they had a whole team going there directly to negotiate and interact with the people. So yeah, they have their own perspective. They have their own picture as to what happened there. So their views are also their right to say. I'm just saying.
Definitely, one of them will be coming to clarify some stuff and add their own information to what you said. So the reason why I'm trying to add that to tell you the importance of this conversation, there are a lot of people watching and listening. I can tell you the truth. So Steve, go ahead and ask one more question, then I will ask the minister the last question. And my question has to do with payroll and especially civil servants getting paid.
You already asked the question.
I'll let you speak. I want you to think about it before you So exactly, my question is going to be about civil servants getting paid.
Okay.
But Steve, go ahead, and then my question will be the last one.
So first thing I wanted to establish to our viewers and our listeners, this is SKTV. And the minister is quite aware that in the media, these things are interactive. People interact. The media don't play where you shut up. When you were on class reload, these things, they're common things. These things happen. And he knows about it. He just trying to The man just trying to make sure he sit down on SKTV, but I scan. He know. So, but we inside. Anyway, minister, I get to the issue. You understand what time it is.
So you remind me about class reloaded.
Oh, okay. Now you know what time it is. But when I get to the question, because I think this question is very important, is in line with Sid's question.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, for the record, we want to appreciate Minister Piah for coming on. You know, in previous government, they would say, once you're not singing praises to the government, they will shy away. They will call the people and say, you don't go down there, you don't go. So the fact that he mustered the courage to come here is welcoming, but it also does not mean that we're letting him off the hook. No, that's not what it means. On SKTV,
I'm gonna get you one beef fishing hook to hope be good.
On SKTV, we'll be walking and be chewing gum. We're looking there like where rather in like bro, where they can be blowing the plane chewing. But Minister, let's get to this question here really quick for you. Most recently, the budget was submitted, as you are aware, to the legislature, and one of the very first, I think you've heard this term before. It's not uncommon when it comes to the Unity Party-led government, budget shortfall. You've heard that term before. It's now common to Liberian governments, but especially it got known under the previous Unity Party-led government. In fact, some people jokingly coined the term budget shortfall to refer to current Senator, what his name from
Amara? You talking about Amara?
You know that thing why you get to my mom.
One of the best minister ever in the history of the country.
Let's get to the issue. So that you calling the Senator budget shortfall when they call you in for questions.
No, you saying it, and I'm telling you that he's one of the best finance minister ever in the history of the country.
All right. Well, here's a question. Let me read this question. Credit to Front Page Africa. Let me read this from Front Page Africa. I'd like your reaction on this. Quote. Let me get to. I skipped the page. The part I want to get. Okay. Quote. The total expenditure envelope divided into two main categories. Recurrent expenditure, which is 664 million, accounts for 92.5% of the total expenditure, while spending on sector investment is 51.89 million, which is 7.5%. And then they move forward to say, financial experts believe that this demonstrates a substantial disparity between recurrent expenditure and public sector investments programs. Please keep those two figures in mind. 92% and 7.5%. Your government coined the term rescue mission. Do you still believe with this budget, you are still on a rescue mission?
Correct. I want to believe that we're still on a rescue mission. And let me give you additional information as to why I think so. So, all of you were just talking about the civil service problem. That is a fundamental pillar of the concerns you have about recurrent expenditure. Prior to this government coming to power, recurrent expenditure was around 300 plus million, I think 315, 320 million. Before this budget could be submitted, there was some adjustment made here and there. I think it came down to 290 million. They saved some good millions. Now, the only way you are going to drastically cut that recurring expenditure if you just want to look at personnel alone, let's say you have a mass layoff, but people are on payroll, they got to be paid. So recurring expenditure, will be high as you saw it. But here is something that happened interestingly at our last cabinet meeting, which has not been revealed, that I will reveal for the first time here on your platform. With credit to you. I don't see your platform the way people see it. We can rack it and roll you cool down, we're going on. So the LRA boss announced in that cabinet meeting that the country is capable of pushing our national budget to 1 billion.
Wow.
Based on projection that you've seen. Right? It's not going to be this budget year, because this budget year, you already have a budget that's been debated. Whether it will remain why it is or not depends on what the fruit of it will be after the legislative process, because they play in the budget finally before it goes back to the president for signature. Most times, it does not remain as it was sent by the executive. It's always changing, and we know it will change because they have that power to a lot. So yes, the executive has sent what they want to send. They will do their revision. In the end, they will believe what is realistic. They will find it. But the LRA boss is telling us moving forward beyond this budget year, we can reach 1 billion in our budget. That will be the point of revolutionizing what you're concerned about, which is the rescue mission. Is the rescue mission still on course? Yes, as you said. Did we expect to rescue the country in 2 months? No. If we raise the budget to 1 billion next budget year, will it not do a lot of public sector investment intervention? Yes, it will. So give us the space. 1 month, 2 months, and you want to also say, we don't believe that we'll rescue the country anymore? I just signed my personnel payroll the other day to pay my pool for March. That was not something we knew were going to be feasible because of what we inherited. But we have an obligation to do it. We came on the mantra of wanting to rescue the country, and we'll rescue the country. Chief, you myself are saying that in America, every day you find the street, coups were wasting all over the place. You myself are saying that over there, and people who are working for government, working for the country to help us to do things properly, auditors, who's supposed to make sure that systems are working. You and I were over there, their lives were being lost. You and I were over there when billions of dollars worth of drugs were being dumped into our country. Oh, yes, in 2 months, one of your own brothers, A.B. Kroman, is taking the charge, and you see some kind of control. So the process of rescuing requires the next 6 years, because don't forget, you elected the government for 6 years. Our rescue mission will be evaluated and judged at the end of our tenure. Those who are judging Mr. Weah now as to his performance, they not do so just on account of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. They did so on account of his 6 years stewardship. You will have a chance to judge our rescue mission at the end of 6 years, because there and then you will know whether we actually came to rescue or we came to do something. And because, as it normally said, the end justifies the means.
Stevie, Dan?
I'm here. The minister has the right to answer the question the way he wants to, but from the project, the Liberian people will judge it. And experts have even said, financial experts have even said over and over that this budget is disastrous, it's appallable, it's a pain in the Liberian, not in the Liberian people's interest. in any way, shape, or form. But the minister is giving another side of the story.
So technically, Chief, you don't have a budget until those who have the power to allot pass the budget. So what you have is just a proposal from the executive as to what the budget should be. That's what the law says.
You know, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. I'm getting some calls here, but I mean, I have to.
I want to follow up with that point.
Yeah. So,
why say we take a call?
She want to say something? No. I will not take that call. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I already informed them that I'm on the show. But, Minister, you just give our breaking news on this platform just now about the Liberian Revenue Authority saying that the Liberian budget could be rise up to like 1 billion. Is this projection tailored towards by the end of the tenure or within 2 years? Do we have any timeline on that? Pay that projection? I'm sorry.
So the chief did say there's a great prospect that our national budget will hit $1 billion. He didn't say in 6 months, in 1 month. So I want to be careful so as to not communicate something that I was not clearly told. But that prospect is there. And I think that's a good news because, I mean, Steve is right. But what Steve is also not looking at, Steve, before we could come in, because of the timeline for budget submission, you know that the outgoing administration submitted a budget. Mm-hmm. What was done is that they have to record the budget, which is normal, to do a recast. Now, it has to be consistent with setting unchanging obligation, like I've mentioned, people's salary. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing absolutely. So if salary is reflected in our budget at the cost of 320 million, you got to pay it. The only way you not pay yourself is that we'll do mass dismissal because we can't just be spending money playing it out on. That would not be the right way to go. That would be the simple who say, oh, is it a king of rescue? They're just sacking people left and right. Yeah, the simple thing the CSA boss said, 40,000 of the 67,000 did not follow the process laid down for the civil service to recruit people. We got 90 days, each hour take charge, let's follow those processes so that people can be properly categorized. I saw many here now, 40,000 people to be dismissed. I saw my former chairman, Molu, my own brother, according to the for all the lecture on that issue. He grew, they call it stand, I know stand, whatever it is, issuing statement, don't dismiss 40,000 people. And I was like, Chief, where did it come from? Who told you about dismissing 40,000 people when you said don't dismiss 40,000 people? But again, that's part of the process. But this engagement for me, and maybe this is a point that I want to just conclude on. I will not be one of those in the government to be happy when everybody's singing praises because if I'm at the Ministry of Information, there are issues. And Steve is raising it, Monk is raising it, Johnson is raising it, Lauren and Steve, yourself raising it. If the issues you're raising are genuine, it is my responsibility to listen and make amends, right? I will only be concerned for unfounded criticism or propaganda just means to portray the system bad. But when you see genuine problem and you raise it, the intent is to help us to correct it. And people who do so, I don't see you as anti-government people. I don't see you as enemies of the state that people said just yesterday, 6 years ago. I see you as concerned Liberians who want the best of the country. You see wrong things going on. You want to talk about it as a way of calling the attention of the authorities to it so that they can do something about it. And that's the reason why I cannot make it a policy position on my part to say I'm beginning to separate media institutions to determine which one is pro-government, which one is anti-government, and begin to say I will not go on in an anti-government platform. Then I'm not worth and I'm not qualified to be the Minister of Information if that is my approach. I must be able to engage everybody, irrespective of how strong, how tough you will be. Because maybe if I left from here, I was going to show my office. Steven said, we do nothing, we're going to show office for. Yeah, listen to him, I sit down and show office. So that's the process. Yeah, that's the process. So, look, I will want to come over and over and over and over again. Like I assure you, I talk most time behind the scene. Yeah. You know, I show you yourself, you always suspicious. Even today, you even show that I'm going to come on the show.
Because everybody telling me that you're not going to come. I don't know for myself that you're going to come, but people tell me, no, I don't think you're going to come.
One of the
So
things,
we have experienced this before with other, leaders, especially the past government. Those that even came, they were attacked, they were insulted, they were bullied by their own people, and they were, dissuaded. All means not to come, but they stayed tried. But with you being the minister Minister of Information, many people, believe that you may be going to be like the past government, wherein they choose where to go and where not to go when it comes to information dissemination. That was the doubt. So my last question, I want you to answer it, please. So according to you now, you signed a check for the Ministry of Information. The people got paid. So can we safely say that civil servants have gotten paid?
Not check. I didn't say check. Minister don't sign check to pay people.
What did you sign?
So why you do all the ministries have payroll?
Okay, you signed the payroll.
And the key signatory to the payroll is the human resource manager or personnel, as you would call it.
Okay.
The personnel will
so
do
can we
so.
simply say now the entire government?
The personnel will do so. Listen now. The personnel will do so in consultation with the minister. We have signed my ministry payroll for the month of March. So people who are working with the ministry should be looking forward to, because the payment system is like very direct deposit. They can begin to look forward that sooner or later, the authorities will start transferring those monies into their direct deposit account for the month of March. And we just started April, so if that happens, then we're getting current with the payment of salary. If I did so, if the Ministry of Finance sent my payroll, it means they might have sent it to the rest of the ministries. So,
can you say for sure other ministries and agencies have also received theirs? Because if you can get it, I mean, you are the information minister, you should be able to know whether other people, have also received.
So that's the point I made, that when the time comes for the payroll to be serviced, ministries and agencies are sent their payroll, right? I got mine. I haven't been able to call individually or but the implication is you're not picking ministry X and say, I'm not saying they put on day judgment day. In fact, mine was a little bit delayed because I had some concerns, and some of those concerns were addressed. For example, 2 persons, I had to insist they had to block them. You know why? They were placed on the ministry payroll in advance of the audit process. They don't work here, they don't come to work, they have direct deposit account, $1,000 paid to each of them every month. And I want to find the fact we were able to justify it, we were able to prove it before they could send the payroll for all the finalized it. They cooperated, and those 2 people were black. Now $1,000 go into their account because they've never worked here and they don't work here in the first place. Notwithstanding, the audit that was announced of all 103 spending entities of government will commence shortly. And when that is concluded, the clearer picture of what has happened with different payrolls across government will be known. The appropriate action that are supposed to be taken will be taken. If there are ghosts on the payroll, the ghosts will be removed. If there are people who maybe are not ghosts, but they're not coming to work, they are on the payroll through some arrangements and all of that, it will be sorted out. And the reason why those things will be done by the GSC is because we don't want it to be politicized. The GSC is a statutory entity created to do government audit. So if they do it, they're doing their work. If individual ministries and agencies start to do internal audit, it could be misinterpreted as trying to target people. So we decided to give that responsibility to the entity that is statutorily established to do so. So that's why it is. And look, let me end this way. It's not about breaking, right? But I'm a member of the cabinet, and I know all my colleagues in the cabinet. And I am convinced, like myself, that everybody reasonably qualified, competent. And it becomes unfair if we use a scenario, what we say is the ups and downs in the appointment process, to wanting to draw conclusions about how competent or incompetent people are. Liberia is not short of supply. Even all of you guys sitting on this show, you are professional people in your own right, very qualified people. That has not been a problem for our country. People are eager, people are learning, people are having experiences, year-long experiences. to find the proper people to run our country is not a difficult thing. Look across the ministry. Ministry of Health, Dr. Louis Poto has a PhD, right? Just look across. Gideon, he's been excellent at the Ministry of Public Works before, has a record of performance. Look at Councillor Cooper Crab. Look at the Minister of Justice. He was not partisan man. He got nothing to do with UP business. He was one of the few persons who benefited to be a minister because of what he brings to the table. We are assembling a government of professional people. We are assembling a government of highly qualified people, right? We don't say just look at us so we can be dancing kakaleka all over the place, hold our feet to the fire, but be assured that the people we put in these places will perform. And one of the things that are happening every time we meet the president, and he said it at this cabinet meeting, he reminded us that he came to power under the mantra of rescue. And he wants to make sure that all of us who he's giving the opportunity understand what he meant when he said rescue. And that our conduct and action will promote that rescue agenda. And you are quick to say when you don't find yourself fitted in, just pack your bag and leave voluntarily. Because if we determine that you do not fit in and you don't do it on your own, we'll not hesitate to show you the essay do. That is how we all operate. So it's not a given that because you made Minister of Information, even if I'm not performing, then I'm here. Because I was a rescue commando and doing all kinds of things that my brother Steven said, our own class reloaded. No, class reloaded did not even earn me this stripe. It's just, you determine who is who. All of my public sector record, I spent 8 years of the public sector record in government communication. 3 years at the Ministry of Information, Deputy Minister of Public Affairs, and the rest of the period at the Executive Mansion as spokesman for the president. So it's familiar territory, coming with all of the requisite experiences and that somebody will require. So I'm expected to perform. But should I disappoint not to perform, he says, I'll be shown the SZO. That is what all of us are faced with. That's why we are all focused on helping to deliver what we have to deliver to the Liberian people. We can continue to have this conversation Sekou. I will continue to come back, right? I told you I was here for 1 hour. I just realized the show gone 1 hour 36 minutes. So I'll stay far more than that. But it's because we all enjoy the conversation. Even Steven trying to keep me here, they didn't maybe want to leave quick. And maybe they want to stay on. So good show. I enjoy every bit of it. Disregard the little rough road between Steve and myself. No. Nothing wrong, Steve, nothing personal. I was just trying to say.
Minister Piah.
Yeah, I was just trying to set the record straight because I don't like to be misquoted when I'm still seated right on the screen.
Last question before he leaves.
All right, go ahead, Mark, please.
It has to do. You see, our people in Liberia, that's just the nature of politics. I understand the minister was paid to do what he's doing here, but it's far from the reality, you know. I read a statement coming from the LRA board that there is a potential. I keep saying this, so there's a difference between ability and capability. It's almost like Joseph Boga telling the BBC interview Liberia is capable of feeding the whole world because Liberia got better soil, we got water. It's the same thing he's trying to say. Yeah, it's a man who said he can close the loophole when it comes to revenue leakage, national development, and financial crimes. So there is the potential that they could take the budget to $1 billion. Remember, CDC said the same thing. Samuel Twain that they could take the revenue to $1 billion in a year. But then, just within 24 hours, you got the Minister of Commerce who is saying that the amount allocated to his ministry is like a drop in the ocean. I'm not talking about your ordinary ministry, I'm talking about the Ministry of Commerce that is responsible for Summa Business Initiative, revitalizing the economy, opening up private sector, telling you that of that budget, they only gave you $254,000. That's a joke, and he's threatening to retire. But you want to tell me that you'll be able to increase the budget to $1 billion? You can say, you can say that to some people. I mean, Liberia, I understand how they take the voters, but those stuff will not fly because it just doesn't add up. It's the total. And how you making the case?
You're asking a question or you're narrating? Which one is which?
I will ask you the question finally. I'm just establishing your premise because it's a contradiction. You know. And Eric, I don't know why when I say something, you just like to cut me off. I mean, let me land, Mr. Minister. I understand the game here.
Yeah, no, because you say you want to ask questions. I already told you I got to go. I told you I got to go, Chief, so you got to understand.
Let's leave it for now. Let's keep it already. Yeah, let the minister.
Yeah, I think the minister will come back because we didn't even ask half of our questions. We didn't even discuss even 1/3 of the concerns of the Liberian people, and he is the official.
So you see, Segu, let's be honest. Every day you have show, right? You don't discuss all the things like Liberian 1 year, 1 day.
Exactly. That was what we're going to
You did not expect me to address everything that Liberian concerned about on this one show.
True.
Because if you do that, then you tell me, say, this is my final and last show, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
But if you want me to come back, you always have to have issue.
We do.
And let me say to what Mom was saying, Mom, when you say CDC said this, you be saying the same thing. Here is the difference. You cannot judge the CDC because it says here they have over. So if they didn't do it, they didn't do it. If I say we do this, you can't judge me now until my 6 year is over. So when the 6 years over and I don't raise the budget to 1 billion, then you say like CDC, you be lie. But to assume that because CDC said it didn't happen, even though we are being part for only 2 months, and therefore it will not happen, it will not fly, it's your choice to not allow it to fly with you. But hold us accountable at the end of our stewardship. When you go to school, your evaluation comes at the end of the school year.
Minister Piah.
Your evaluation comes at the end of the school year. Not while you stay in school.
Minister Piah.
You rather period evaluation. Then when I come in now, I'm talking, you cutting me off. Why is that so? I'm addressing Mom ask me a question. Why you don't want me to address him?
No, I didn't ask you a question. You just
saying
told our audience that I wasn't asking a question. I was making a statement. So I didn't ask you a question, but go ahead.
Yeah, also I'm addressing the statement. The statement said CDC said the same thing, so we just saying the same thing without fly. I'm saying when CDC said everything they said, they have 6 years. So when you're judging them now as to what happened and what did not happen is because the time the Liberian people get in and they didn't do it. What I said now, the only way you will judge me as to whether it was a failure or a success is the time the Liberian people has given us, which is 6 years, if it ends and it does not happen. So the two scenarios you try to compare is that you try to compare apple and oranges.
All right.
It doesn't hold. That's a
I believe it, for me, I got a personal belief. I believe in something called the law of progression.
Thank God that they come and go.
Yeah. So that's what I was about to say. Thank God the current didn't go. And thank God the minister stayed longer than the 1 hour. And we appreciate that. We appreciate the electorate. We appreciate
NEC, right? Yes, indeed. We
allowing the minister.
We are grateful for NEC.
To have this time with us. So, Minister Piah, hopefully, we were talking in the back. I don't know when, but we would really appreciate you coming back here to discuss more national issues. And I would even appreciate
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about it in the back. And you know how many radio stations we have in Nigeria?
I know. A lot.
Okay, I gotta visit all, not including my own brother for freedom everywhere. So I will still come back, but you will not feel good if I went to school, right? And I keep going to school, I go there 5 times, and I'm coming to you. What the amount of information minister team doing? I just school and SKTV and all the people he get down for us. So I even want to go to GA Hard Talk. You know that Liberian man running it. He got his own concern. We can have conversation. If they reach a point where we got to shout on each other, like Stephen said, they will shout, but they will put down the temper, they will continue. But we got to go there. So I will come back, but as usual, we want to talk behind the scene.
What I'm trying to say is that, and I was trying to say that we want you to come back specifically after the 100 day. We want you to come back to SKTV to come talk about the achievement or maybe overachievement of 100-day promises or 100-day plan. That's what I was trying to say.
I agree.
All right,
consider it done.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And we appreciate your time here.
Yes, indeed. So 7 minutes.
Mom. I see my face. I wanted to see Mom. Why Mom not showing your face?
No, I'm here.
Mother will show your face after the 100 days.
Sure, no, let me show your face for just a second. Just show your face for a second. Let me see.
Show your face more. Let me see you back.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Piah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much, Minister. So, folks, coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to bring 45 minutes of news. We'll be linking with our newsroom.
In your 45-minute news time,
I know,
I know
but
you're
I just got to
rushing.
get
First of all,
our people informed also so that at least they can be aware.
yeah.
We think,
Listen now. Listen. You're 45 minutes time. You're not reached here. Don't take even a second from us right now. I want to say thank you to the management of Truth FM and also former radio former FM 99.3. Our Truth FM will normally go for news bulletin, and we managed to reach out to the management to tell them to allow us to continue. I didn't do a Melbourne this time around because Melbourne is just a messenger. So I reached out to the BP people then. I told them, say, "Yo, please, you should not cut us off. The Liberian people deserve to listen to the minister interview because he had only about 1 hour. We went actually over 1 hour. We wish we have more time, and the minister will come back. And I like the fact that the minister and Steve started a little bit rocky road, and then they end up, with joke. I really appreciate that. SKTV, we are not opposition platform. We are media platform for the Liberian people. We ask everybody the tough questions, regardless of your position or your party. So one of the lawmaker wanted to clarify the question. Who asked the question again? I think it was Lawrence, about the people of Kinjor, Grand Cape Town County. So one of the representative, Famule.
Okay. For the
Famule, he wanted to clarify certain things, but because we never had enough time, and I promised to call him back so he can clarify. Hello. Yeah. Minister Representative Famula, you are on SKTV. You are live on the radio and on the social media platforms. Are you able to talk now? You wanted to say something with regards to the people of Kinjor. You want to say something now?
Yes, I only wanted to provide the information that the House Committee investigating B Mountain came out with a report. And the minister, in that report, the House has communicated with the government that one of the accounts is that they should identify the person who gave the order that led to the shooting of Liberia in Kinjor. People die in Kinjor. We as lawmakers in this country want to know who gave that order because a Liberian lost his or her life. So it is overdue, and the minister by this time should be able to tell us what is it that the police has informed the Ministry of Information that the public need to know, and who are those who are under investigation. Since the actions in Kinjor, believe me, we should not do business as usual. We need to know as to who gave that order and who are those who should be held liable. But now the government should be very serious in ensuring that people are before the Ministry of Justice going through full investigation. It's something that is very much important because there are a lot of natural resource extraction communities in this country. And if some of these questions are not answered, police will go back into these communities and mail unwanted and put in place unwanted misbehavior. And some of the actions, we need to bring them to book that the law can take the course. When police are sent into these communities, they are there to administer the law. And they should ensure that they can do that in a more professional manner and form. But when Liberians start to lose their lives, it means all of us need to pay more attention to such a process. It's just that clarity I wanted to make and inform the public that the House has put up a formal report, and that report called for the Liberian National Police to identify and turn over to the Ministry of Justice individuals that were involved in the shooting of Liberian in Kinjo while the protest was there.
So basically, maybe some of my colleagues will have a question to ask you, but you are saying that the government of Liberia is in possession of that communication, and you guys are yet to hear anything, or the public to be informed about what is actually going on. So are you guys getting any redress or any
The government
response?
is aware. They have been communicated. The police, there's a count within that report that says the police should be able to identify. But even before the report, it should be of importance and of concern that the police will be able to identify who ordered the shooting of Liberia in Kinjo. By now, the police should be able to show to Liberian people that they are off for business. Business should not be done as usual. So for the minister to come on the air and fail to provide clarity as to where they are with the current investigation in understanding who are those who are involved with the shooting of Liberian Kinjo, it is below the belt. And I think any Liberian will want to condemn their actions and condemn anyone that will be associated with such process. We need to understand who gave that order. We want to know who are those who were involved. And it's something that is very important because a Liberian, one or two lost their life. Liberians lost their life. And we want to know if the information they provided prior to Lawmaker going in, if they were providing misinformation, we want to know. Because these are democratic states where people have the legitimate right to peacefully protest, and you should be able to use force that's not lethal.
All right. Maybe Steve and Mong and my colleagues, they have a question. Do you guys have any questions, Steve and Mong and Mayborn or Lawrence? Do you guys have a question for Representative Lawrence? For the family?
I listened to what the Honorable Lawmaker just said. For me, I'm not going to make further comment until I can read that report. I know that the government in possession of it, and it will be later released to the public. I would love to read that report before.
No, Mong, we'll try to check that report and then I'll send to you.
So for me, I'm going to put a hold on that for now.
Steve, you have a question?
Yeah, Representative Famulette, thank you for bringing this to light. Let me ask you this question in regards to that whole situation. If the government refuses to act, what are your options?
If the government refuses to act, it means they have given more reason for more protests in that part of the country. They have shown to the Liberian people that they are not out for the interests of those people. They have shown that they will not live up to the rules of law. The essence of some of the actions is to ensure that and give more guarantee to the population that you are out there and you'll be able to protect the rule of law. There are people who live in concession areas and police will always send in the communities, and we are aware that there are concessions companies in this country that has failed to live up to their social responsibility. As such, people will be aware that when police are sent, they will harass people, they will kill people, and no one will say anything. For us, we think business should not be done as usual, and the police need to be put on notice that if you go into this community, you are going in to protect lives and property, not to destroy one.
All right. Yeah. So, Lawrence and Mabel, I don't know if you guys have a question. If not, then I can let the representative go. Representative Family. Lawrence, do you have a question or no? You good? Okay. So, Representative Family,
I got a recommendation.
I'm going to be reaching out to you. Can we, schedule another appearance so we can finish what we started the other time?
Yeah, that was my request.
Yes, okay. I got that for next week when I'm back from the district.
Okay. So we will call you and then we will come up with a date and then we will have you on here. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, he said we can arrange something for next week.
Yeah, that was going to be my request to him because we got to discuss these things in details. Thank you, Mr. Kanafos.
Yeah, so Mong, Eugenia wrote something and we highlighted.
Yeah, I was just about to remind people today is Friday and they know the traditional SKTV. And so I was just about to reiterate that point, Tengo, you highlighted on the screen. People are seeing it. Today is offering day. Giving season. SKTV.
Yeah. So Steve, overall, what do you make of the minister's appearance today? Overall.
Well, overall, I think the minister was very untruthful. Very, very untruthful. I think he thinks this is a joke. I think the next time, we welcome him here, and we hope the next time that we'll have enough time. No pre-excuses will be put down from the beginning, or they lie to try to, but now they can go off automatically. I think on SKTV, you might not like the way we go about, but the truth about it is, let's just be honest. This is where we come to discuss the issue. I think the minister thinks this is a joke here. When you talk on here, you think this is joking. Just come that way of talking and just over talking and confusing everything. You don't even answering the questions. The minister did not answer the questions. The minister was not truthful to the Liberian people. And I would really hope he will come back. Maybe he thinks this is a joke. For me, when it comes to the issue of accountability and transparency, I don't do joking thing with it. I'm not into joking thing. We can joke behind the horse. When we come in public, you're a public official. You're not my friend. You're not my man. We got to keep it 100% that Liberian people you got to do. So I'm definitely looking forward to the minister coming on a day where maybe he will be sitting home, calmly with all information in front of him, no lab problem, we don't have to worry about anything, and we take the full 2 hours. He won't get there for the interaction and say this, that one, that's fine. I know for a fact that nobody disrespected the minister. We'll just hold the minister accountable and we'll stick to the issue. That is my honest view.
All right. Monk, what's your take, sir?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to consider that to be a joke. I just know that's the nature of the job. That's what he was paid to do. You see, these people they call information minister or whatsoever, press secretary, that's what they were paid to do. They are spin doctors. They are not interested in saying the truth. If you go through the particular interview, if you really do a reflection, if you're really on top of your game when it comes to information, the only thing this minister was on top of his game when it came to that 40,000 people being cut off, facing the whole idea of being laid off. That's not the case. And he said that 100% correct. There was a change of an HR system. People never went through the proper procedure and they had to regularize their status when on government payroll. That's when he was 100% correct on it. Even the international community frowned on the system, that ATAF system that Sandra Twe introduced. So he was right. But everything else is totally the complete opposite. But you see, he came with an exit strategy. The first thing he came, he said the premise about life. Because people told him that SKTV is a hostile platform. So just in case, if we have derailed in terms of something he was saying as a hostile question or something that was tough, you were going to say he's out of current. I knew that's where he established that premise first before he started taking questions. The next thing, that the budget is a draft. No, the draft is a blueprint to the original budget. I bet you the budget
it didn't say the draft. It says the proposed budget.
Well, I propose the same as a draft, but we all know
that proposed meaning is up for is stay up for amendment by the legislature.
Oh, Mr. Canada, that was not even a question. The question was
but I'm just trying to say what he said.
That's what I'm telling you. He came here with an exit strategy. Give us 6 years before you can evaluate, or even if things are not going well, you got to wait for 6 years. Right. The second thing is the budget is just a draft or a proposal, but we all know budgets are nothing but projection. If that original budget is signed and I bring it to you page by page and leading, then there will not be no significant difference. They will make a couple of changes here and there, but nothing is going to change overall. We know how the game works. I'm saying he came up prepared for that. You see, when he mentioned that the LRA boss said he could raise the budget to $1 billion, it's laughable. If you want to raise, that's why I highlighted these 3 points. If you're telling me that there are financial crimes happening in the country, that there are revenue leakage and national development, how do you tell an average person in the street that you got a budget of 692, whether it's a draft or the final budget, and you only allocated 7.5% into public development or public initiative, or let's just say capital investment, and you want to tell me you will increase the budget to $1 billion? That's a joke. But when you're attacking that, you say, no, you got to give us 6 years. No, my brother, there is something they call the law of progression. If you cannot get 1, you cannot get 3. If you cannot get 3, you cannot get 9 or 7. I'm seeing missteps happening from the beginning of this administration already. Exactly. You want me to wait for 6 years? Look, you can tell that to the average person. You don't come on the platform to play that kind of a game. You are telling me you don't even have flush toilet. You don't have a budget, even though the government requested for 41 million in additional spending just to maintain an operation. And you're telling me you are far from your 100-day deliverable, yet I should keep waiting for 6 years, because that was literally an argument. My man, you know what? Whether you want to scrutinize or not, give us 6 years because it's a fair game. You know, the standard now is Unity Party for the CDC. Since you give CDC 6 years, you should also give us 6 years before you can make any judgment. Even when they are flashing lights, we should ignore it and just wait for the 6 year period. That's it.
Well, Lawrence, do you have a comment to make as to your take on this particular conversation?
Mr. Canada,
we're going to be opening the line to the people, so you shouldn't worry.
The show was okay. I really enjoyed the show, even though I came on late due to the internet connectivity, but however. But then, from my own thinking, the minister was not fair to us, because there are a lot of questions that we asked him and he was not able to talk about it. So actually, he was not fair to the Liberian people, even though that is the job is he need to do. So we get hold him responsible, because I saw here Steve, like, you know, Steve got love for the country, but even though he didn't make it, he didn't just make it. Yeah, Steve got love for the country. I can see it here. I can see love in his face, even though he didn't make it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Lawrence. So my take on this conversation is a little bit different. First of all, I think it was a good conversation. It is a good start. This could be the beginning of many. And I hope this will also open the doors to some of the government officials who are skeptical, who have done different mindset about SKTV. Our objective is not about your moment. It's not about tit for tat. It's not about presenting ourselves as opposition to the government. Our job is to hold the government to the fire, discuss the issue, and be honest about the issues. Also, our job is to ask the relevant questions, the important questions. The way they answer it, that's not our business. The Liberian people, like Steve told the minister, the Liberian people will be the judge. Media platform, we ask questions. When a minister comes here, or anybody from the government, for that matter, comes here, we ask them the relevant questions. They know for a fact that they are in the court of public opinion. They will be judged by the people. Our job is not to judge them. We tell you exactly what we know. If your statement contradicts the reality, we highlight it so the public can know. But I think overall, the fact that the minister mustered the courage to come here and have this conversation, I think it's encouraging, and we should encourage it. Even when we disagree with the government, even when we disagree with some of their policies and the way to do things, we can stay amicably, have conversation on it. We can be smiling with each other and discuss critical issues. We're not enemies. We don't have to like frown our face as if to say we're going for war. No. You can still be smiling with somebody asking the tough questions, the toughest questions, as long as you're not personal about it. I think it was a good show. And I thought you guys, asked some relevant questions. The minister, might not have answered the questions like we would have loved to see it or to hear it, to have heard it. But I think the minister having the courage to come here and be open to any question is a good start. We did not ask all our questions, not even half. But the fact that he came here I want to say thank you to the minister. And I also want to encourage other people in government and outside of government to treat SKTV as a media platform that is there for Liberia, not just one group of people. That's why we criticize everybody for doing the wrong thing. And we would commend you if you do the right thing. That is my take. I mean, we can open the line to people.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, but I wanted to give a whole different point because
Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that.
The thing is, if we ask the right question, the sole objective of asking the right question on SKTV means we should get the right answer. So we got two options here. If people believe that this platform is too hostile, maybe they want to say, okay, you guys got to soften your stand. They want to throw softball, and we will not throw softball. No. So if we say that we're going to throw softball just for the sake of accommodating the government officials to come here and say whatsoever, then we'll have to make a choice. Because for me, I will want the real answer. I will not entertain lies. Even if you want to, I know he was paid to do what he did. But for us, we were not entertaining. We were asking these tough questions, and the people themselves will be the judge. But I'm not going to reduce the.
Let me ask you though. I'm 100% agree with you. We were not entertaining lies, but can you still ask a tough question while smiling?
Yeah, for sure. That one for sure. You know, I will not be too confrontational in trying to put up.
We can ask the toughest question in the world.
Yeah,
without being confrontational.
You see,
we can ask the toughest question in the world without cutting each other off. You see, the minister, 2 different occasions, he cut you guys off, right?
Oh, yeah. That's it.
And you felt guilty when you talk about that, when you said, you just cut me off.
No, he never felt that. No, he feel guilty. He did no responsibility. He did no responsibility. No, in fact, he tried to shut you off too. He tried to be in control of the show.
Yeah, he did that. But what I'm telling you,
and that's why at the point,
what I'm telling you, and the point I'm trying to make here is that we can ask the toughest questions in the world without being confrontational. I mean, Steve going to be Steve, Sekou going to be Sekou, Mon going to be Mon.
Oh yeah,
there's nothing we can do about that. But when we come to the platform, we just want us to. We are not saying we should let lies to fly without, asking the toughest question. No, that's not what I'm saying. But also, we have to be a platform for everybody, regardless of their position.
That's fair.
Everybody got to be comfortable coming here to have a conversation.
And Mr. Kane, I agree with you 100% that everybody must come here. I agree with you. The point, one of the things that SKTV is noted for, in and out of Liberia, we fact check people. I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
For the minister, knowing he the one set up the green screen, the scene where how he told us previously that in dry season, car will not stick in the mud, but yet they made a pronunciation to the Liberian people, knowing that they were in dry season though, which was already deceptive for him to say that. Then he come, he know he got a green screen behind. Then he say he wants to show us something. You got to literally call him on.
Maybe the man don't know that. What are you talking about?
Who said?
The man said.
No, second one. You know how to use a platform when the software. You got to set up the screen.
The before you get to the show.
So he knew exactly that.
He may not be as versatile as you are, or as I will be, or when it comes to the technology. Maybe he's not. So I would not call it deception.
Mr. Kane, that deception. Let me tell you why. Before they make you on the street, he now want out to see your background.
I don't know.
Oh yes, yes.
But that's why I check him by saying that the minister said that the office is not.
No, Steve. That one, I don't believe that. Let me tell you this. No. When you open StreamYard, this software, when you open it, especially the originator who open the software for a particular show, and I'm using a highlighted green screen. I'm using green screen. Any of you, when you turn on your camera or you turn on your computer, it will give you the option. That background he was showing you, that's not his background. He's not the one that created that. That is automatic background that is inserted in StreamYard. You can choose to put that behind you, or you can choose to go You know, if that place is kind of dirty, like he said, nasty, if he wanted to, if the people that set it up, like he said, set it up, they wanted to have a background, they can do that. But when he came to himself, when I said, no, you can remove the green screen and come back, I mean, I don't see that as a deception. Those are minute things that we shouldn't even worry about.
Also, the man sat on the show here and tell you, say, in 100 days, they will do excellent over there. You think I joke? He joking? You think I joke?
No, he was not joking.
You were lying.
What do you mean? That's what he meant.
No, but that's a lie. Whether you mean it or not, that's a lie, Mr. Kane. And we can make an excuse for them.
Yeah, we're not making excuse, but it is not our job. It is not our job. It is the people now to judge what am I going to present here.
No, it is our job to protect it.
Our job is to ask him the tough questions.
It is our job. And I'm talking about you can choose to lie.
You're supposed to answer the way you want him to answer.
No, that's not my point.
What will you do?
My point is to call him out and he lie on the issue there.
I don't know about that.
No, we can't have a problem, Mr.
Yeah. Let's take some calls.
Yeah, let's take some calls. You know, that's not too important. I mean,
let's take some calls. I think this is Abraham. Abraham and then Yasindi. Yeah, Abraham, are you there?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
How you doing? Hi to Steve and Mark. Great show, guys. I follow the sit down with the information minister. But there were a couple of things that the information minister was just not forthcoming with. And the blame game and the shifting of blames or the excuses that will culminate into the 6 years is just beginning. The other things. Let's take it to just his own ministry. He talked about people, workers or sanitation people going down who's quarter to bring water. The question to the information minister, when he served in the prior government, whether running water system in the ministry that he left at the time, or even the executive mansion that he worked in at the time, which of course was the foreign ministry, the Morovia have running water system so that this system could be flushed off constantly. No, it wasn't there. So to come here now to talk about people going to draw water, that's the system they left after 12 years. So that should not be an excuse. That's one. Two, he talked about the 40,000 payroll situation. So I expect you guys to follow up with this Jerolinmek. You guys talk about the PA, when the procedure was then followed. Mind you, 40,000 employees were not employed by the previous government. I think the previous government increased the payroll by 10,000. So what happened with the process that culminated into the other 30,000 that the Unity Party government left at the time? So he's telling that there was an ineptitude at the level of the previous CSA director that was there that didn't follow that process. So for you to come here and sit there and then be shifting blame and to make it a bit, because that's what he was doing was sweet talking people.
Yeah.
He was sweet talking people. The bottom line is that what he's talking about, those people were placed on the payroll, 30,000 of them from the previous government. Do the math. Because if somebody increased the payroll by 10,000 according to them for the last 6 years, granted, then how did other people get on the payroll at the time? What happened with the process at that time? It was never addressed. He did not, but because there was no follow-up question on that sequel. So that's the misleading, the disingenuous thing that Steve is talking about. But generally, again, like Monk said, that he's paid to do this kind of thing, to bring the government out there good. So that's the job he did. But again, those are follow-up things that needs to happen. Unfortunately, he left the show before you take a call because, trust me, there are some level-headed people too that are going to ask him the tough question, even if the panelists don't do that. So again, but guys, maybe not take all the time, and you got to take all the calls. What do you think?
Thank you. Let's take Yasindi. Yasindi, how are you?
Hi, Sekou. You people have just imprisoned me today on my spring break listening to that gentleman. Let me say, first of all, thank you. I think moving forward, if at all, this is just a suggestion, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your platform. It would be really nice to give the audience some opportunity to kind of call in and ask the question instead of, you guys did a good job. Steve, you did an excellent job. That's your approach. Mong were very informative and just right to right. But let me say what I came to say. And the gentleman I just left added what I wanted to say because I wrote these things down. I had an opportunity, and I have family members who work in last government, and I'm very, very, very technical about them. There were no running water in those ministries. They were throwing water. In fact, I used the minister proper office. I keep telling my story. At 5.5 months pregnant, and I walked out very sick. And I got to America, I already had a state birth. They were throwing water in barrels and bucket all the way up the stairs. All right. So there is nothing new. They didn't leave a running water there. So number one, for us to move Liberia forward, we must be honest with each other. Okay. We know where Liberia stands. Now, this gentleman is talking about people he can surmise that everybody that came with him is competent. How does it? Because they have degree. Degree does not constitute competency. Degree literally means you went through the rigors to a theory and you pass. And the people say, we certify you. Now go out and perform in the real world and make the needed adjustment. What are the background of those people? Majority of the people who are coming to talk to us in the last 6 years, what has been a contribution? Majority of them live over here in the United States. They didn't work in a field. Okay, what impact did it make? Those things need to be accounted for. All right, and I know, and then campaign. Majority of them are still in campaign mode. Campaigning is a strategic or a strategic approach of convincing people to come and see your side. And governance is different. And it's time for them to govern. We don't need them to make excuses because we were told during the campaign they were the most qualified. They knew the in and out of Liberia, and they knew what Liberia needed to suffice, what Liberia needed to progress, what Liberia needed. So, and Milburn and the other gentlemen, great insight, especially about King George. Okay, we saw people open live border, hunting our people down like a deer in the middle of the day, and shut them down dead. All right, and I like that the representative or the senator came on to talk about his representative to talk about his people. I think he needs to take the time and come on different platforms and let us know, because we want to know what is happening to our people. What approach is this government taking, not only for what transpired already, but for future occurrence to deter that our people are not just hunted down and killed and nothing happened. All right. So, and then the gentleman talked about budget. And I'm gonna take one more and go. The 40,000 people that he talked about on the payroll. The new director said they put people on the payroll that were incompetent. Okay, have they already done evaluation, performance evaluation, to know that these people were competent or incompetent? Are they basing only their competency on people's degree? In the world over, so you know this, there are people who do what they call shadowing. They bring them from maybe high school, they stay in the workforce, and they advance not from theory, although they understand theory, but they also understand hands-on. All right. I know engineers who they go to engineering school, but they are the best among the best. All right.
Thank you.
How did they surmise that? How did they come to that conclusion? So we need to know what they are doing. But then y'all let him walk and talk back, and he said, we didn't say we were fighting the people. We said we just want to verify to place them in the right places. You see that? So that means we got work to do, Sekou. SKTV has work to do. As a person who hosts and investigate other information, we all Liberians have work to do to force our country forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the line here. Let's take Bang from Minnesota. That's the undercover CDC. And Bang, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, how are you? And for the first time, I want to say a big thank you to Steve.
Steve was really Steve. And I like him when he's like that sometimes. But I think this was the time Steve should have been given more time to be a little combative. You know, when you have a guy who was coming up with these combative posture, sometimes you let someone handle him. But anyway, here's what I want to say. This guy was never truthful. When the man said that they will overachieve. So what that means is that whatever they have for their 100 days, they will exceed that. Now, this is the same man on the same side of his mouth is asking Steve, it is not realistic for you to tell me about about the road being paved or whatever. You wrote those things on the paper. Steve was only reading what you wrote. So if you are saying that you will overachieve, it means you will overachieve everything that Steve has in front of him. That's your own damn list. Aside from my French, I don't know how these people are just so blatant. You know, these are some of the reasons why the people in Liberia say you're in America are some of our problems. Because the same people here from America leave from here to go to the country. When you expect them to even do better, it's just the same people. How hard was it for this man to have been truthful? Anyway, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much. Let's go to the line here. 651 number. Last 4 DJ is 1630.
Yes, Sekou, thank you so much. I mean, great team. I'm really proud of SKTV team.
Thank you.
You guys, you know, when you see a crack team, you got a real crack team.
Thank you.
You know, it was laughable to hear Jerolinmek telling us that the president called for cabinet meeting and telling them that if you don't perform, we'll show you the door. Is he the president performing? How can a man who was not performing tell somebody, I'll show you the door? And you are just saying that thing with words. But I saw the way you guys, handle him. And I saw Steve, the whole picture was changing. Steve is one man I always look at on a platform. He likes for a point to go through. Like Monk too. Sekou like to be diplomatic. I swear.
No, Sekou diplomatic. Oh, you're not know that all. Hey, even in a horse. No, call on. Look at you. Even in a horse. The house of people.
Wearing some of the things I want to hear.
Sekou is an extreme liberal.
You guys are to the point.
Thank you.
The hard question. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
No,
No, I got a few more calls. More calling me an extreme liberal.
1 minute. I beg you. 1 minute, I beg you. Look, folks. Look. If I was just listening to all
hold on.
If I was listening to all the advice who can give me behind closed door, we are going to show so diplomatic. Even down to the dress code. Ain't see how I dress like that? Sekou now put it behind me say I'm a bad costume. I'm a be wearing my clothes there. I'm a dress professionally. Look, let me tell you something, my people. That Sekou is even to Sekou house or Sekou environment. When we make a mess of Sekou place, Sekou don't want me to take the dishes to carry to the kitchen. Can you imagine? He don't want me to even clean the place I eat. This is who he is actually. So that is there.
Yeah. So like it calls. This number here 202 number. I think unbreakable power. I'm not too sure.
That may not going to be here. Not call on.
Yeah, that may not.
Breakable power. You say you're not going to be there.
You stay what I say from you.
I'm gonna take you off.
Yeah.
No. The message I'm gonna take you off. Steve will take you off. But then you can't contribute. You can't come with a bell more. You can't tell the message there, man. All right, go ahead. Yeah, no one appreciates me today. We don't appreciate Steve more. Yeah, you got it the best today.
The question you need to ask a man, the question of running from below you.
But I think my sister, she I let it lie. She said a real point. Hey, listen to me. The man came on that show, and I see listen to everybody playing for Latin pool. And more for on our country. You listen, put him up 40,000 in movie, to for your job. Even season is requested. I see you for in government. What I mean, government, I can't talk for 6 months. And 6 years. We're put 40,000 movie in the government. He said, they put it there, who can you call back? Is that back about the president?
All right. How can you do the minister not qualify, man? All right. I got a lot of callers, my man.
And somebody got experience. There are 2 different things. 2 years, not 4 years, that's it. But it's who tell you like it with degree, without a degree. That's what I understand.
All right.
If you keep playing for it, that's what they say. You qualify? Maybe you're not saying if you qualify,
all right. Brego Power, thank you. Thank you. We got to leave it out. I got a lot of callers coming, please. All right, let's go to the line here. 216. Last 4 digits 6106. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Are you doing, Sekou?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Davis, and I'm calling from Brooklyn, Ohio.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I just want to, say many thanks to you guys for this program, but I was a little bit disappointed in the minister because I can recall when this guy was on Class Reloaded and the other platform during the time of opposition, there were a lot of things he used to say. But now he in government, now he can't say it no more. I can remember when you're asking about the 100-day rule project, I was expecting him to tell the people that, as we speak right now, machine in Vera County reconditioning those roads. But he could not say anything about those things because there is nothing going on. And but the problem there is that Liberia will always learn from their own mistake. And one thing President Mo always saying, Liberia, they are their own problem. And I believe that say, Liberia, they are their own problem. They will see danger and they go to it. They made Joseph Barker told the whole world that when he take power, he will cut down government workers. He also said a lot of things. The message, even when it calls for you to dance with the devil, you dance with the devil. So the operation of the devil is to steal, kill, and destroy. So see what going on in Liberia now. The work of the devil is to kill, steal, and destroy. So Liberia will always be Liberia because we will always see one thing and we embrace it. The minister today to have made most of you are following you guys, but today was a waste of time because that minister had nothing to offer to the Liberian people.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you very much for the show today. And I want to comment and more somewhere.
No problem.
You ambassador for diplomacy, so please, sometimes you gotta be talk.
All right, no problem. Thank you. I really thought I answered today. Mama Enza Dollar, my brother from Minnesota.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I was kind of a little bit shocked. I called for it, then you left me.
Yeah, what happened? There were other callers ahead of you. Then I just clicked over, but you were still in the background, but you thought you were cut off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to detain you a little bit. I know everybody's saying that, Sekou is like this.
It's okay.
You did that. That's fine. You guys, every one of you guys can be on the same side. I think Steve pushed the minister to do his best. I want to give him credit for that. But people need to understand that the role you play over there, that's what you have to do. Because you have to balance it so to encourage other people to come. The man said, people say the way they portray you can't show yourself like that. So sometimes you give people the opportunity because this is the only place that we will get information about Liberia. So for me, I don't want to blame people that much. I want to thank every one of you guys. I think you're doing well today. At least we know some things. And my comrade, Mom personally out of that minister today. He admit, but then he said, no, I'm not here. He mistook me.
He said, Ellie brought professional people. They are not bringing professional people. They are bringing people that have been to get elected.
That's it.
In fact, Mr. Dollar, let me just add to that. To me, agree with you. What the minister even said directly, not even indirectly, directly, he said that early appointments were based on professionalism and competency. And Joseph Boaga on appointment is not this. Joseph Boaga does not have the same luxury Ellen had because Joseph Boaga had to compensate and satisfy the political alignments, the people that he aligned with. I mean, that was very clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, to accommodate other people.
Yeah.
The government we have in Nigeria is about people that help us to get to power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have our country anymore. So that's the government we have, and that's the people they love people to them. So I just want to thank you that it was a good show. It was interactive, and we learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Ali, for defending me a little bit. Everybody that came here today, they just on my neck. But thank you. Appreciate it.
I hope Sekou impact our fundraising effort today because.
But I didn't do anything. I was just taking calls. But the last time I checked now, that 7 people donated. 7.
Yeah, we need to. We ain't even halfway there. We
only 7 people.
Today is Friday. You know.
Yeah.
And you see, Sekou, one thing, the reason I keep addressing that 40,000 stuff, right? Let me just tell our audience. You see, that's what we'll do on SKTV. We'll go in the trenches, we'll do it almost like we cook the food for you, just put the table, say come and eat. That's what we do here, right? This issue of the 40,000 employees, it was politicized by most of the opposition. It was not done with the purpose, with the intent of witch hunting the past administration. This is exactly what happened. What actually happened was, between 2019 and 2023, we had a system in place we called the Civil Service Management System, which is a CMS. It's almost like an HR system that look at attending, that look at payroll, that look at taxes, and it's like a software, right? When Samuel Tuer and the people came with their so-called harmonization, within that period between 2019 and 2023, they came with something, they came with another system that they appointed an individual by the name of, how they call him, Dale Francis, to take over that particular system. So they came out with something called the Alternative Temporary Automated Payroll System. They call it ATAPS. And the international community says, no, the previous system, which is the CSM system, is of the higher standard, it's of a better quality than what you got put into place. And doing the CSM system, wherein when they are making changes or they are doing payroll disparity or whether they are doing something like replacement or competency, you go through, they get something called or PAN, which stand for, they got some definition for it's called, how they call this, man? Hold on one second, they come to my mind. They call it personal action notice. That is, it's a regularization status because it's a system. Since Sandra 12 took people out of the system, that's why Joseph Boaga administration said you got to go back to your respective PR. We're giving you up to 90 days because we are going back to the old system. You got to regularize your status as a civil servant employee to be on the regular payroll because you guys were the one that came and changed it. And matter of fact, when you change it, people even got mad because the system that you were using, it was not up to standard in terms of quality. So we are going back to the old system. On that part, he was 100% spot on. That it had nothing to do with politics. It was just the proper procedure that to be on the government actual payroll, you got to go through.
And among just for your information, we're trying to reach out to the bossman for that civil service protection agency. His name is Josiah Jokai. He's been here. He's a friend, also a brother. You know, somebody say, I want to be bringing my best friend on the show. So, if we do that, they will not be bringing a lot of people. All the people be bringing on here, they're all my friends. Whether in the CDCO, whether there's nothing, it's not a problem to be friends with people. Yeke is my friend. Yeke be knowing Yeke before he even became anybody representative. So Yeke is a friend also. Yeke always come here. He said, I want to be bringing my friend. So people will always bring people here. We ask them the right question. We'll also make sure that we leave room for other people to come. So we are not hostile people. We are just straightforward people. And we are passionate about the well-being of Liberia. That's all. So some people can see it as being hostile or being somehow arrogant or being somehow, harsh when it comes to asking questions. No, we are not. We got a lot of, we got a lot of people on this platform, but I can tell you guys, let me tell you, Steve, Monk, or Mabel, or anybody, we have never told anybody how to ask questions or what kind of question to ask.
Nope.
We don't even tell you the perimeter in which you should step. It's up to you. But once we see the need to come in to correct anything or to clarify anything, we do that, not in defense of the guest, but to just for the sake of conversation. And I think we did great. It's a teamwork.
Mr. Canel,
yeah.
Mr. Canel, a few weeks ago.
So, let me tell Mon this one. If Mon say I'm not updating. So, Mon, say you talk one person we added one person added to it now. So that 8 people now donate.
No, that eight is unacceptable. You got to stop on your game, SKTV. Now it's only on Friday. You stop on your game, man.
I will leave it with you and Mom because by the time I got my appointment. But I just wanted to say the thing to all of us. Life that balance. The way Sekou is, Mom will not be like that. I will not be like that. And so you can remember Musa Belete, who owned True FM on a radio station here. You were here a few Sundays ago when the issue of the 45,000 came out, whether he knew about it or not. What did happen? And Sekou told call for somebody else who are coming to contradict him or so forth. So on the station, let me say this to the people who are watching. Let me say this. Yeah, some of the ugly face they may all our feeling a bit time or asking questions. Sometimes the ugliness. And that mean that will bad people.
Yeah,
like that ugliness. When you see the face looking like that, it just means maybe we'll not eat our day vote on the show or nothing going on. So we come to show different experiences there, different things they will not do in a day. So
get ugly.
Anything,
Felicia Free Wolo. Thank you. At least you can understand.
So, Mr. Piah,
I'm gonna highlight her comment because I love that comment.
Mr. Piah is a friend.
They're not Felicia on there. Yeah, that Felicia on here. Yeah, the show needs to be balanced and but the show needs a balance and objectivity. So different personalities are needed. Yes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely so. And the day Monster being who he is or I start being who I am.
Exactly.
You can rest assured that the show will be looking for you. So at the end of the day, we'll ask a question. One thing I love about SKTV, everywhere, even my mom has always told me, we do not sugarcoat anything on the show. We say as it is. I don't care how close we can be with you. I don't care our relationship. We can just come for talking to you on the phone like that. The good thing, we don't even take that thing up and say, I remember before the election, a couple of people, the reason not show up here because they wanted us to go and create a question.
Go press sing. That's why they went to the other platform.
Yeah. We're not calling names. We must sit down behind the wall and craft the question. They go to practice, then they come. We told them, said, no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We do that. Because if we do that, we'll be promoting you and setting you up against the people. So what a parameter, if we don't talk about personal life here, we don't say the person there. But the issue, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. And I want to making some of you afraid. You don't be afraid, you come.
Tiola must stop being diplomatic.
No, that's possible.
What say you?
Listen
to her?
Tiola, you do maybe one of the day will record second reaction in the world. You'll see it. That thing diplomatic on the show.
So Monk, I don't know about today, man. I don't know. I don't see Tiola near you.
Yeah, we're almost 1,000. I was seeing close to 1,000 on the stream. Now we are 800, and you're talking about 8%.
But I'm not
acceptable for SKTV.
Yeah, but I don't want to put. I don't want to put Tiola on the spotlight. I'm not seeing her knee. Now when they lash out, now need to show up. Her knee can always pop up, but today, she not making it.
She said she protesting because
I can see the love in her face.
She said she protesting. She texted me. She said she protesting.
For diplomacy?
I said, wow, she said you're too diplomatic. Yeah, but folks, I gotta run. I gotta run.
Yeah. No problem. Me and Mo will be here for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be here for a while.
Because the people not seeing light right now. And how should be protesting?
No, our people need to start getting used to the whole issue of diverse personality. They say lag and leg it going to repair is the opposite of attract. We got to come here with we are different individuals.
Look
we
at
got
all the
different
hero of Seku. I said,
Yeah.
I thought you my friend. I thought I say thanks to Moise.
yeah, they want to be comparative and Seku not going around. Yeah.
I don't even know. But let me tell you something. When they say the most hated person when it comes to SKTV, especially from the Unity Party people, they hate me more than everybody. Not all of them, but they hate them. You know why? Because we don't hide behind our fingers. We speak truth to power. We don't care who you are. And things there that they don't want us to say, we can say it. Especially when it came to Joseph Boakai being in the hospital, that sickness thing, it really, really hurting them. Up to now, some grown men and women will lie and say that SKTV was praying for Joseph Boakai to die. Simply because provided truth. Because they were lying to the Liberian people that Joseph Boakai coming to America to come tell people thank you. And we provided the fact how he was in the hospital, the process was ongoing and everything. From that time up to where we are, they just hate us to the gut. But not all of them. The ones that really hate us because of that, they're going to hate us no matter what. And I can tell you, like Mom will always say, we're not going to change our business model because of somebody want us to. We're always going to be SKTV. We'll speak truth to power. We'll speak on issue based on fact. That's why when people give us information, we don't just run with it. We will always dig deeper. We'll do our fact check, get to the bottom, and present the fact to the people. That's who we are. And so one of the areas that I heard, and I was a little bit concerned about that, but we never had enough time to push back on it. When the minister said that the reason why, in justifying all the changing, withdrawal of names and deleting and addition and subtraction, all the thing, he talked about because the president has the right to appoint and dismiss. He used that as an excuse. And then he said something that, to the effect that if somebody is supposed to be appointed for minister or deputy minister from Liberty Party or other party they have the line with, and then the person, then they go and appoint somebody else from different party. Isn't those a thing that's supposed to be part of the due process and the vetting process? Before you even vet somebody for possible appointment, you got to know first if they say, okay, position A and B and C are allotted to party A, B, and C, you make the appointment from there, from that party. How could they get that kind of thing wrong? Not one time, not two times.
You see, the honorable minister, I keep saying it over and over again, that's what he's paid to do. When you serve in that position, in that capacity within the government, even something that you don't believe, you still have to defend it because that's just the nature of your job. You are spin doctor technically for the government. You are there to play quarterback for the government. The minister understands exactly what's going on. That's why I asked him from the beginning. With all the missteps, with all this idea that Boakai is the most competent he's been in the system for long, is this incompetence or how do you tell me to be? And how he came up with the Madam Salif analogy that Madam Salif brought professionals. She brought people that are competent. She put the sources of her government or her policy over political alignment or payback. So I was asking, I said, but Boakai is not the only person that came with an alliance. We can make the case to that CDC came with an alliance. But the question is, this first few months,
It's the worst I have seen in my lifetime. It doesn't make any sense. And that's exactly the case. Because just yesterday, again, I had a reference that kid, and he tried to put, he came with a semi-tour kind of a strategy. When you don't know anything, let me know semi-tour, you think he's the smartest guy in the world, right?
Yeah.
He can mother the water. But people who know exactly what you're talking about, he can't even make sense to himself. But guess what? When it comes to the hand gesture and the spinning, the sweet talk, you will fall for it, but there is no substance to it. Piah is a professional. He knows exactly where I was going with that question, and he tried to play. That's why I say, Mr. Minister, I understand your role. I know that's what you are paid to do. But you know what's up. And that's the situation with the Joseph Parker administration. Because now the people in the upper house are saying, you know what? You cannot even be making nomination to this position when in fact we are waiting to hear from the Supreme Court. So you are telling me that Bwaka is still not aware, even though we've been on SKTV saying this thing repeatedly. Mr. President, if you go to the Supreme Court, you might not let them win the case. You cannot keep appointing people to tenuous position. And that's exactly what the Senate, they came out with yesterday. So he understands that, but guess what? He must do his job. And I understand that portion of it, but the idea was it can fly here with SKTV. We're still pointing out because that's exactly what he said. That why he made a statement, negotiation and not being heaven, they are made on planet Earth. So technically, for Bwaka administration, it's more about giving people job than Bwaka himself succeeding. So you keep telling us, I mean, you got to give us 6 years. My brother, we don't have to give you 6 years. We can just see the thing happening, that this rescue train is off the rails, and we don't need 6 years to tell what's going to happen. That's the myth, that we should wait for 6 years, even though all the signs and warnings are there that you are off the rails. So, I mean, that's it. That's his job, He must make his part of the ball. He must play his role. That's what he was hired to do, to come on the media platform and play defense for the, in layman terms, I would say, to defend the indefensible. That's what he was paid to do. So I understand the business aspect of his job.
Yeah, so I think we've been here now for 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think those who are supposed to, or who are willing to support us today, they've done it. And we don't want to push people off the cliff if they cannot afford it. I think we should call it a day. And I don't know, like I told you, there is about 8 people that have donated.
You see that what Steve said, you're too diplomatic. Let me be frank with our people here.
Yeah, but what should we do?
No, I'm not. I just want to make a statement. Segu, most of the time we come here and we ask our people for support. You know the kind of work we do behind the scene. Mostly for the guys that are in Liberia. Some of us will come here, we volunteer, we take our precious time. We do research just to keep the government feet to the fire. It's almost like a win-win situation. We give you the information. We tell you what is happening on there. You come to SKTV. Look, my people, this thing is like a business. You got guys over there. You got operating costs. It seems with your minister just told you that his office is nasty. That's just it. They say, empty bag cannot stand. You got guy like Lawrence. You got guy like Milburn. You got guy like Golden Hat. The kids, they take upon the time. They bring information. They read these short stories. They give us some talking points. The least you can do, man. I mean, we're in the U.S. Come on. I know the economy is tough, but we can do more than that. At a point in time, you can be like 1,000 people watching the show, and then you got only 8%. Like, it's a total condition,
One person just did.
For some of us, we understand, but
so now it's 9 people now.
Yeah, it's the least thing you can do. We should be targeting at least. We should be targeting anywhere. We want to take phones on Friday. We should be targeting not less than 35 to 40 people on any given Friday in a week. That would be able to make up at least in terms of expense. And well, if you're not showing the signs of even being committed to the
product, the thing is though, the years before last year, for the middle of last year, we handle everything on our own.
Yes.
We never asked anybody for anything. And the reason was very simple. When you have just a few group of people who are committed.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be somehow.
They'll get stressed out. They will get burned out.
They will get tired. They will get fed
up. Yes.
So this is why when I used to handle everything on my own, I had no commitment to anybody to come on every day.
Yep.
I used to come on when I want to come on. Sometimes I used to take a whole week off. Now come on. If I don't come on, then that's it. And we never used to be on the radio consistently as well. In fact, when I made the first arrangement of being on the radio, we only had it for 3 days. It was Monday, Saturday, and Sunday. So commitment to stay on the radio is also to inform the Liberian people on a daily basis. Do you know when we don't come on, do you know how many calls maybe one can receive?
My box can be flooded. Like I be getting.
Yeah, you yourself can be reaching out to me and say,
what's going on? Yeah. From that
sometimes I don't want to be on the show, to be honest, because I can be tired. Sometimes I got even, let me tell you something, the particular timing, they also impart on my own job schedule. Because when you commit to do certain things, you have to
show up, yeah.
Got to show up. But they're like, I don't want us to overburden our people. We will make some adjustment if necessary.
Yeah, we'll make some adjustment. I think so.
Yeah,
we'll look at the days of the week. Yeah, because
sometimes when people miss you, they will you will see the need for certain things. Yeah, but if they don't miss you, they get tired with you. Whether you come on, whether they do something or you didn't do anything, you still come on. So stay the scene. You gave them no reason that they should actually.
Sekou, you said it right. The reason being, if you got different contributors, it become easier.
Yeah.
Let's assume if we say SKTV, we're targeting at least 30 to 35 contribution on a Friday. You got 500, 600, up to 1,000 people. If you get new contributor, even if you donate just one time a week, that's less than 2 cups of a Starbucks coffee here. It won't be strenuous. But when you get the same people repeatedly, then it become an issue because
it's a burden,
it's a burden, Once in a while you come here.
So another person just sent $10. So that's
something just okay.
So you get about 10 people now. Now somebody just sent $10.
It's still unacceptable.
To cash out.
It's still unacceptable. 10 out of almost close to 1,000 is unacceptable. It's not a profitable business model. It's not right. It's not cool for the business to keep going on. Except you guys. And I know if it was some gossip here or something, I know our people. Few people will be committed. If this was some man causing show, trust me, we will be raising thousands of dollars.
And again, Monk, something I want to add. If this platform is noted for telling the truth, it's noted for speaking truth to power, it's noted for being honest, and also an integrity platform, we should not close our mind. We should be open-minded. When we're speaking truth, whether it's against or for the government, we should do it. But most of people believe, because they don't like certain government or certain
you must be on the other side.
That means you 100% got to be opposition to the government.
Even
if there are facts to certain things, or even if they are doing the right thing in certain area, they don't want you to talk about that.
No, that's bad.
They will consider that as you speaking for the government. No. That's the difference between SKTV and any other platform on social media. Most of them are noted for either for the other one or the other. They want to switch, they switch 100%. What we do on here. So, again, another person said now $10 to what do you call it? To the cash, to the Zelle, and then somebody else also sent $20 to the cash app. So about 12 people now. 12 people donated. So I want you guys to have the mindset that SKTV belongs to Liberia. We will speak truth to power. And I know one of the reasons why some of you gravitate towards SKTV is because of the honesty we bring to the table. So you shouldn't expect us to just go against telling people
for no reason, because you want the other side.
For no reason, simply because the government, then anything about them which is just bad. We shouldn't do that. That would take away, the integrity of the platform.
And there's no need for SKTV to exist if that's
Exactly. The reason why we exist is for us to speak truth to power. And if there's something good, we should be objective about it.
And we just give you an example with the whole payroll thing. The mindset out there was Unity Party is coming with the vengeance. They're trying to take sedition off the payroll. No.
Yeah.
Even though we attacked the minister on certain things he wasn't saying that was right. But equally so, you must give them credit for the good things they are doing. And that's why exactly.
And that payroll thing is a good thing, to be honest.
It's a good thing. You must regularize your status as a government employee because there was a system in place. You cannot get people on the payroll and we don't have accountability when in fact you brought a different system as compared to the system that was there. Just go back to your regular HR in your various ministry, regularize your status, and get back on the government payroll. That's a good thing. Accountability. Why should I say the up? Look, when you want the truth, you should be prepared to be uncomfortable because it's not all the time you'll be comfortable if you want the truth. That's just how things work. If you want the truth, then be prepared to be uncomfortable. But if you want to be on your side, then I would tell you to go to the other sister network and go listen to Joseph Boaga TV.
Yeah, so Mom is it's 13 people now. Somebody just saying, okay, sharp.
For me, I will keep telling them unacceptable that we're really 30.
I don't think you're gonna reach 30. You say if I let it go, I don't think you're gonna reach 30.
We can come here with 1,000 people plus.
My man, you got 13 people. 13 people.
Step for that game. And here's the business aspect of this thing, Sekou. If you say you want to, let's just assume you're on the other side. Let's assume that you're a sedition. And you say you want to hold Joseph Boaga feet to the fire. How will you hold that feet to the fire if you're not getting the credible information coming from the government? And that's what we are doing here. We do the research, we do the background investigation. You just come here and we'll set the table for you to come and eat. Now for you to just get a tip before leaving the restaurant, then you got problem.
That's a good one. All right. Yeah, somebody just sent $75. Well, I was surprised with that.
That's not bad.
The person she don't call my name, so that make it 14.
14, yeah, that's cool. 75.
Almost
3 presidents on average. That's why one president did.
Yeah.
Only once in the month on a Friday. Like if it rotational, it would not be stringent. It would be like a fund, You get 20 people that gave maybe 25 or 30 bucks out of 700 or 500. Come on, like you do a rotational. Some weekends you come here, you give on a Friday. That's it, just to keep the show going. It's nothing more. It's not too much of an ask.
Yeah. But either way, they know that either way will be here, so they don't.
Yeah, they know the minute.
They see the weather or not we do it, so it's okay.
But the moment will go off, I know the calls that will be coming. Like some people I have never dealt with on Facebook. I was like, this thing, I didn't know that how stressful it is. I might as well quit SKTV.
Yeah.
Once Sekou is not on, then your box is flooded with a lot of calls.
And the thing about it, I have to come on. I have to be here. I got to make sure Maybon is on. I got to make sure all the guys get the information. I got to make sure Mong. I got to even be able to build the audience, to build everything before everybody else can come.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be sleepy, but
that's why I keep asking how you do it when you are fasting, because I know fasting.
Yeah, my man. Okay, let's say for today, right?
Yeah.
I went to sleep at 4 o'clock, and I wake up again 6 o'clock to pray, and then I went back to sleep. Then 9 o'clock, I wake up. That's it. I haven't slept since then. So imagine for the past 24 hours, I haven't slept for like 4 hours.
No, that's not cool. That's not good for your health. You need
more. So, but that is because of this Ramadan. The last 10 days, we spend that praying all night. So after the Ramadan, that will reduce. Yeah, Monzo, we have another, let me see. Yeah, we have another person. So we have 16 people now.
16, yeah. Okay, let 9 more people come. I will do 25 today, Jeff.
9 more people, my man.
Yeah, 9. I leave 25. So we were close to 1,000 today. You do the math. 1,000.
Yeah, but anyway, no problem.
I was Steve say you took the man. I want people I know that you got to put.
Let me tell you something. Like Steve was telling you. Like we must say when we do something, I always like to look at it from the other side. I just feel like people should do things willingly, and especially what is right. Mong, when you know something is right, just do it. Nobody have to force you to do it. And if somebody doesn't get it, you give them time, they will get it. down the line. If they don't get it at all, you know what you do? You take away what you give it.
Yeah, but willingness, but yeah, the thing too, you see, you gotta take a balanced approach. Willingness too, we gotta remind people. Sometimes you gotta be having, let's say you gotta be having a benchmark and a deadline.
Yeah, and that's what I'm on.
It's still voluntary, even though we say it, but it doesn't compare a particular person to make. We just say that it should be the right thing to do. I mean, for the guys over there to be able to, to empower them financially. I mean,
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you the truth. Some of the guys that work for us, that work with us, even though we don't have them on fixed salary, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Some personal issue. Somebody called me the other day. Their mom was sick. They were not on the show. We're not doing show time, nothing. So we have to help somebody. You know our people condition in Liberia.
Getting back the highest.
When things were okay with me, I did a lot of different stuff without telling anybody. But when very things are difficult, people are not even, business not moving the way they used to be. Things are tough right now in everywhere. So that's why I don't even blame people who don't have it. Things are difficult everywhere.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, so if it can be hard for us here, what about the people in Liberia? And too many people. You see, when we come on the show, I don't know whether you observed something today for the past few shows. When we come on the show, maybe once or not, it would be the first to even start talking about people, asking people to support the platform, right?
Yeah, he knows what's up because he's on.
Normally they don't, and we don't ask them. Monk is the one that is responsible to do this thing. But when I saw the networking, for the second time now in a row.
Let me tell you something. One time it was tough. I don't like to say this is an open platform, but one of the kids back there called the people. He said, "My man, say good not pay you." So he said, "My man," but the problem that got me mad with him, he called me on video at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
he was sleeping out there too. There's a time difference. I stay relaxing with people like that. He said, "My man, when I wake up, I will see what I can do. I will do what I can do." So it mostly for them, And keeping it short.
So for them, they don't even know our time here.
Exactly.
You know what? When I really go to sleep, I can put my phone on do not disturb.
Yeah.
Because of call from Liberia and other
5 a.m. Man, call me on video too, not even a regular audio call, but on video. I said, bro.
Yeah. The same thing to me. The last time I wake up to use the bathroom, right?
Yes.
By the time I enter the bathroom, the person called me. I answered the phone. It was on video. I said, "But I'm in the bathroom. Why you want to put me? You want to put me in a situation like that, man?"
And the particular man that coming there is the first time calling me. He never called me before. He had sent me text message before, but never called. But 5 a.m. he called me on video. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, this is not fair. Well, I know what's up. I know why I did, and I will on.
Yeah, you remember last time, even some of our sisters, me helping some of those kids, they would tell me. Some of them won't tell me, but some of them would tell me, say, "Hey, this sister here, send me this one, send me that one."
That's great.
And I'll tell them thank you. Sometimes I don't call them, so I don't call their name because sometimes people don't want you to know what happened. So we'll come here publicly and so let me see here so we can update the people.
Yeah, update also will know. We'll say at least 25. 25 at least. It's not there, but at least that progress.
Let me see here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I don't want to make sure. It was 16 first, right?
Yeah, we are shot 9.
Yeah, 17 now.
All right.
17.
So we are 8 away.
I don't know. You don't know how do you make it? I can see the love in your face.
Y'all made it in 25, man. Tell me, gentlemen, that 1 out of every 40 person, man. I mean, let's get say 1 out of every 35 people watching. Just one. Let's get we want to divide ourselves in group. 35 per group, only one person out of every group.
So I don't even know how many people watching on Facebook, and I'm seeing the base one here. You got 800 people, but I don't know how many people on Facebook and YouTube and other area. So let me check the YouTube, I mean the Facebook.
For the 750.
Oh, it take us 747.
Yeah, 747. That what I'm seeing right now was 750. Get a few
Yeah,
seconds.
because we're seeing 816 here on the main screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you are not on Facebook, you're somewhere else watching us, you know, you can still use the number we put up there to donate to SKTV.
You know, the funny thing about the whole show is the people who say they want the accountability, I want to hold yourself back to the fact that government. If SKTV go out of business, they don't know how you or you will be doing your own research.
Yeah. We just gotta leave it there for today, Mom.
Yeah, indeed. That's it. It was
nice thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything. And then we'll see you tomorrow. So, Mom, just a quick announcement. Even though people are leaving now, we were Mr. Russell will be here again. What's his name? Winfrey Russell will be back here. The election over there is coming up in Minnesota there. And also the kid we brought on the last time from Washington, Josh Bender will be back here.
So what's happening?
I don't know.
We just give them 750 to 895. I like something not right, man. And the number is fluctuating.
Yeah, and for some reason too, I think somebody is carrying us. I think that's what is it? Something carrying us on different platform. I'm not sure what's going on. So I think, you know, certain time Kim said I was not even seeing you.
Yeah.
Before they drop down happening, I was not seeing you on the screen no more. So maybe somebody don't know send a virus again. So let's just call it a day.
Yeah, but let me get a final announcement since we are in the announcement mode.
Yeah.
On April 12th, we told you guys we'll be doing a special edition. Maybe we'll put a post on the officials page of the situation in Liberia since 1980. It's a historical day in Liberia that fundamentally changed our country. I don't know if we get someone to volunteer that will be on the show as a guest, but that day is a significant day, and he has been 44 years since that event happened, since the death of President William Arotaba Jr., and we said Liberia has been a totally different country in terms of making progress. We've been going backwards, and 44 years later, we are still struggling. So it will be a special edition of the show on that day because it's a historical day in Liberia. If one of the most consequential days in the history of Liberia, we want to really do some.
And among to that too, we've had some very much experienced and intelligent folks that live in those areas, and some of them contributed to some of the happenings that time. So they are willing to also to come on to be yeah. So I think some of them told me they inform you.
Okay.
And, I received some calls and text messages that people are willing to be part of their particular initiative. So let's be open to that.
Yeah. We made a post April 12th.
All right.
All right, man, guys.
Let's leave it there, man. Thank you so much.
All right, bro.
My people, thank you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything.
All day, every day.
Thank you.